This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Hey, what's up? It's the Troll Patrol. It's a freaking Sunday. Hi. There's news. It be doing shit. Sorry, not very enthusiastic. A teacher fed students dog treats. That happened, and I can't wait to talk about it. That's going to be fun. Speaking of which, teachers have not been able to reach a deal in Boston, will continue to strike. This dude apparently built a roller coaster that'll make you come to death. Jaguar put out an ad that apparently doesn't feature any cars and has people dumbfounded. The only story I saw as I was perusing the front page of the news like I do every day was that egg prices are surging. And I'm like, if I know the reason why egg prices are surging, and that's not the thing that should be making the news. The CDC has confirmed that a kid here in the U.S. now has the bird flu. Did you know it's a slur to call Tulsi Gabbard a foreign asset? That's what a dumb fuck said on the news this morning. Joe Rogan has thoughts on Ukraine. Apparently it made a lot of people mad. We're going to show you the aftermath of one of the new missiles used by Russia. Hezbollah launching like 250 rockets into Israel. Rabbi was murdered in the UAE. Israel cracking down on citizens protesting the war on Gaza. I refuse to call it the war in Gaza. It's the war on Gaza. The demolition of Gaza. Israel has sanctioned one of their own newspapers for telling the truth. Mother has been on hunger strike over her son's imprisonment in Egypt. This is going to be my favorite story tonight. I cannot wait to do this one. First of all, the Philippines have been completely destroyed. First by a typhoon. Now a massive fire has broke out. And on top of that, the vice president of the Philippines has threatened to assassinate the president. All that and a lot freaking more. Not our president, their president. Tonight on the Troll Patrol Live, good evening. M-Lord, Clinically, Shelly, welcome in, Warlord. DJ Dubbed, anonymously, all the good people. The other people that are going to come later, that are going to be the slackers, that come in, pull up a seat later on in the stream. Want me to sign the petition to... Okay, so there's a petition going around to call a new election in Britain. Apparently Warlord wants me to sign the petition, but what... Aren't they going to know I'm in the U.S.? How is it going to count? I mean, I'll go sign it if you want me to. It's not my country. In the interest of my show, it probably would be a good thing if Britain yet again had another election. Here is your meme of the day. It's Charlie Kelly pretending to be a lawyer, except it's things Rudy Giuliani has actually said in court. Pull this one from 2020. This is a classic. I'm not sure what opacity means. It probably means you can see. DJ, thank you for the resub. Warlord, thank you for the resub. As far as we're concerned, Your Honor, these ballots could have been for Mickey Mouse. Maybe I don't understand what you mean by strict scrutiny. Well, apparently Rudy Giuliani doesn't know what it means. I know what it means because I'm a video editor. Well, also that, and stupid? I'm not stupid.
You think we're fools?
Did you think it was my quote, M Lord? Oh, you were going to get a soda. You didn't know that I was quoting Rudy Giuliani. I have a whole stand-up comedy bit about how when I stand in front of a white wall, it looks like somebody turned the opacity down on me. I just blend right in. It's all good. It's all good. All that and a lot freaking. I already did that part, didn't I? I got a special treat for you guys here in like the second or third story. You're going to be like, oh shit, he's doing that again. And you're going to enjoy it. Minty, welcome in. You guys are going to love the surprise. It's not the Call and Oates hotline either. Oh, goddamn. Remember how Trump said he didn't have anything to do with Project 2025, and we knew that was a lie? Apparently YouTube did an update, and that browser doesn't work with YouTube anymore. So I gotta go to a different browser now. Just add that to the pile of problems.
Trump transition team has been moving very, very fast since the election. The president-elect has announced names for 20 key administrative posts so far. Here to update us on what's happening is ABC's Molly Nagel joining us from our Washington Bureau. Molly, good to see you this Sunday. Trump tried to distance himself from something called Project 2025. That was talked about a lot during the campaign. At some points, he said he doesn't really know what it is. He doesn't know the people who are doing it. But now he's tapped an architect for a key role. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Russ Vought is somebody who is going to now fill Trump's Office of Budget and Management.
Is this the dude that has the TikToks?
Nomination. That's a job that he actually held during the first Trump administration. And that's a job that has a lot of insight or oversight of
that's not him.
Agenda. He oversees the budget and helps to implement it across various agencies. So a significant role there. But Vought obviously has a very strong ties to this Project 2025.
That's the guy that was the head of Project 2025 that had to step down and gave that interview that was like, well, we know he has to distance himself from it, but that's actually the game plan when he gets back into office. So he will be the head of the Office of Management and Budget, OMB.
Proposal, which would seek to drastically overhaul the federal government to expand the powers of the presidency and really cut down on some federal agencies, things like the Department of Education, for example. But he's not the only member of Trump's administration who has ties to this project. When you talk about Tom Homan, Trump's border czar, Brendan Carr, his pick for FCC chair, Stephen Miller, all of these folks have ties to this proposal that, as you mentioned, he really did try to create some distance between himself on the campaign trail from that proposal. So what we are seeing now is that Trump heading into office actually bringing in some people who have some pretty significant ties to this thing that he once called extreme.
Well, Republicans avoided a pretty huge.
Well, it is extreme.
Gates withdrew as Trump's AG nominee. There is a lot of controversy about the pick for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. What can you tell us more about that?
Well, we know that Hegseth has come under scrutiny for some sexual assault allegations. Obviously no charges were brought against him, but he is one of the picks that Donald Trump has had up on Capitol Hill meeting with senators, trying to, get a sense of where they are and have them hear him out and hear his case. He's
that
also
is an
one of
ugly tie.
that is perhaps the more controversial of Donald Trump's nominees. When you're talking about Hegseth, talking about Tulsi Gabbard or RFK Jr., these are candidates that might have a bit of a tough time getting through the confirmation process because Republicans really only have a narrow majority in the Senate. So they can only afford to lose a couple votes on any one of these nominations to get them through in the traditional order if all Democrats oppose these nominations. So Donald Trump standing by his nominees as of right now, saying that this is his cabinet, that he is excited to see them go through this nomination process and wants it to get done in a swift manner so they can hit the ground running come January.
Molly, Trump and his team
to get done in a Taylor Swift manner.
In 2016. Does that speed indicate anything about the next 4 years?
Well, it's pretty remarkable that we're not yet 3 weeks out from the election, and we're seeing Donald Trump essentially say, here it is, here's my cabinet, we're all finished. This is a very different speed than he used during his first administration, but I think the important thing to remember here is in 2016, Donald Trump had not held office before. He was
didn't think he was going to win.
New, very green, maybe unsure of what they were going to face. This time around, it's very different. They have had 4 years in the White House, and they understand what they need to do and how this kind of plays out. And
they've had 4 years to prepare.
So clearly learning from...
My God. Giving him that extra 4 years might have been worse than him just winning re-election in 2020. God.
Their experience 8 years ago doing this the first time around, moving much faster and looking to get people in place a lot quicker than they did the first time.
All right. Molly Nagel from Washington. Molly, thanks so much.
It was Sunday, so there were several politicians making appearances on the Sunday shows. Apparently, my future GOP mommy is going to head the new Doge caucus in Senate. She's going to head the Doge cock.
She won her Senate seat on a promise to cut waste, and now Joni Ernst is set to be the top Senate watch Doge, chairing the new Department of Government.
The watch Doge,
helping us cut trillions. And she's wasting no time getting to work, already meeting with President-elect Trump, Elon Musk, and incoming Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick yesterday at Mar-a-Lago. Joining us now with more is Senator Joni Ernst. Senator, thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's great to be with you, Charlie. I'm so excited about this project.
Yeah, so I was excited when I saw...
Look at that smile in my eyes.
Be the Senate point person, because I know you have, no one has devoted more effort than you have to going after exactly this kind of waste. And you probably know more than...
What a lovely lady.
Where all the bodies are buried when it comes to federal government waste.
Yes, absolutely, Charlie. When I went into the United States Senate 10 years ago, my promise was to make them squeal. And we are doing just that with
make me squeal, mommy.
I have 10 years worth of work on waste projects. My Squeal Awards go out every single month, where I am identifying waste, fraud, abuse within the federal government, and then proposing the solutions.
Waste, fraud, and abuse me, mommy.
Waste. So just for a few examples, some of the train systems that we have in California, our U.S. taxpayers pay for those. There is one train project that costs our taxpayers $1.8 million a day, Charlie, and it is not scheduled to be completed for over a decade.
That one is wild, but it's high-speed rail.
But
it's had a lot of hiccups.
The federal government. We can talk about the telework work activities that we have seen over the course of the last 3 years, and federal government employees that are simply not working. They don't want the transparency. They don't want us to know that they're only working maybe 10 hours a week. We can talk about the vacant buildings that cost us $8 billion a year, not to include the maintenance, which is nearly that much as well every single year. So there are so many areas. And through these meetings, I sat down with Vivek Ramaswamy this last week, provided him with a blueprint of $2 trillion of savings nearly immediately, was able to meet with Howard Lutnick, Elon, and of course our great next president of the United States, Donald Trump, and visit with them about the goals of DOGE and how we can take all of the research that has been done in my office over the last decade and provide them a very clear blueprint for success.
You know, obviously you've had plenty of successes in your efforts, but it's maddening how hard it is to actually get a lot of these things done. How hopeful are you that with this DOGE effort that you'll be able to sort of
They like saying Doge.
a much higher percentage of?
I can't blame them. It's a fun word to say.
Well, Charlie, that's a great point. It is very difficult, and I have run up against so many different obstacles when proposing legislation to fix some of these spending issues. And what I would point out to the American taxpayers and your viewers is that those that are pushing against cutting this waste out are usually the fat cats that are actually enjoying this government waste. So there's a lot of spending. I have found some good partners on the Democratic side, but we need to see them much more engaged, like going after federal workers who
She wants to get engaged.
tracked when they're teleworking. I've got a great bill that Gary Peters has joined on. So I know that there are partners, but we look forward to working with the caucus and making sure that DOGE is successful.
Well, keep up the good work, and
Bert's going to work the cock.
make them squeal.
You betcha, Charlie. Thanks so much.
Sorry, Senator Ernst Cedar Rapids is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, Senator Ernst. It's JustinFREAKIN from Twitch and YouTube again. I called you a few weeks ago. Not being weird or anything. We just watched your appearance on Fox this morning talking about you heading up the Dogecock us. And I just wanted to give my suggestion on where you might be able to cut some waste from the federal government. I would start with all the handouts that Elon Musk gets for SpaceX. I think you could probably cut several million, if not billion, if I'm not mistaken. I think NASA can do anything that SpaceX does and does it cheaper and more efficiently. So if you were going to start cutting things in the budget, I would start with the handouts to Elon Musk and, other of his rich buddies. I don't think these billionaires need to be getting so much of our taxpayer dollars. ExxonMobil, one of the most profitable companies in the history of the world, still receiving subsidies from us, the taxpayer. I don't think that's fair. I personally think that we should own the mineral rights, the oil, and that the people of the United States should see the benefit of it. But that's just me, and I'm a crazy commie. Now, I heard you wanted to make people squeal, and once again, I'm looking for a GOP mommy, and you're kind of attractive. So if you really want to make somebody squeal, I'm here. You can give me a call back at this number, 917-830-4359.
You have reached the maximum length for a recording.
Nuts.
To send this message, press pound or
Absolutely.
hang up. To play it, 3. To re-record it, your message has been sent.
Thank you,
If you
Senator
would like to
Ernst.
try an extension, you may do so now.
How many times can I do that before I get the feds on me? But I think I had some good suggestions for her. Come on. You gotta love that I have her number saved. Did you know that it is a slur? You are using a slur if you call former Representative Tulsi Gabbard a foreign asset.
About the pick of Tulsi Gabbard for DNI. Here is what the former UN ambassador Nikki Haley had to say about Tulsi Gabbard. Take a look.
This is not a place for a Russian, Iranian, Syrian, Chinese sympathizer. DNI has to analyze real threats.
Well, thank you, Shelley.
Comfortable with someone like that at the top of our national intelligence agencies?
Tell
So,
Nikki.
Senator, what say you? Are you
Emirata.
comfortable? Will you vote for Tulsi Gabbard?
I think it's really interesting that anybody that has a different political view now is being cast as a Russian asset.
Is that true?
It's totally ridiculous. Tulsi Gabbard has served in our military. She served as a congresswoman from
As
Hawaii.
a propagandist.
I might add, part of this unique coalition that President Trump has put together and won and got that mandate. But I think it's insulting. It's a slur, quite frankly. There's no evidence that she's a asset of another country. She served this country honorably. And by the way, she cares deeply about our Constitution and civil liberties and making sure people aren't being targeted by these intelligence agencies. So again, I think this is a reformer who can come in, who maybe is not part of the same Washington.
She served her country as intelligence in the military, but somehow she's fighting against intelligence agencies.
Cocktail party circuit that people in the intel community are used to, but maybe that's exactly what we need right now. President Trump listened to the American people when they screamed about these issues. They want to be heard. They feel like Washington's broken, and I think bringing somebody in like Tulsi Gabbard is a welcome news.
So you're a yes on Tulsi Gabbard, Senator, just to be clear?
I'm a yes on Pam Bondi.
I'm a yes on Tulsi Gabbard if she wants to be my Republican mommy.
I'm a yes on Pete Hegseth. I'm a yes on Tulsi Gabbard. Absolutely.
Thanks for watching.
Shut up, Lester. Joni Ernst. That's the top of my list, though. Senator Ernst is a honey. But I'll settle for Tulsi. And then third would be Nancy Mace. I'd settle even lower for Nancy Mace. Nancy Mace deserves a titty slap.
A titty slap!
Come on now.
Also, apparently, Toni Storm has said she's retiring from wrestling. I think that would be a great loss. The woman that gave us the line, titty slap. By the way, I now sell t-shirts of that on Fourth Wall. Joe Rogan has thoughts about Ukraine, and it apparently made a lot of people really mad.
The world we're living in now, and that's LA, and that's New York, and that's a lot of places that got fucked up by incompetent people.
I don't know. I just feel safer knowing, like...
Pull this microphone with your face.
I feel safer knowing that Trump is in office.
I do too.
I feel great about it. Like,
You would?
Don't feel safer is right now they're launching missiles into
that's
Russia.
fucked up. Yeah.
How are you allowed to do that when you're on the way out? Like, the people don't want you to be there anymore. There should be like some sort of a pause for like significant actions that could potentially start World War III. Maybe that would be a good thing that we would like to avoid from a dying former president. It's the whole thing is
Trump
nuts.
wanted to start a war on his way out.
Shit about politics.
Zelensky says Putin is terrified. Fuck you, man. Fuck you people. You fucking people are about to start World War III.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Russia fired a missile today.
I feel like
they fired an intercontinental ballistic missile for the first time ever. It's the first time one of those has ever been used.
I don't think that's true.
Fucking insanity, because those intercontinental ballistic missiles can have nukes on them. This one didn't, but if it does, the whole world changes, And it changes because of the military-industrial complex, and it changes because of the money that's going to Ukraine, and it changes because the outgoing president or whoever the fuck is actually running the country has decided to do something fucking insane.
Yeah,
fucking insane. And we're all sitting there watching it, and people are cheering it on. CNN was saying, like, finally. See what their headline was about Zelensky about Biden giving Zelensky the ability to use long-range missiles. U.S. made long-range. It's not like nobody knows where they came from. It's not like nobody knows we've been funding this. It's a proxy war. The whole thing is fucking insane. It's insane. Come to the negotiation table. Sit down. Work this out. Stop killing everybody. U.S.
I will say, apparently, a majority of Ukrainians do want a negotiated ceasefire where they give up territory. I saw that polling data just the other day, but I mean, it was like 55%. It wasn't, overwhelming or anything.
Allows Ukraine to use long-range missiles. So what did they say? Someone had said that, like, CNN was saying that it was a good thing, which I think is how has the left gone so far crazy that they think it's a good thing to launch missiles?
It's a good thing for a country to defend itself against another country that invaded it.
That's what's scary about life is, like, you don't want to pay attention to that shit. You just want to live your life. You want to just be carefree and have fun and do the thing that you're passionate about. And meanwhile, the world is burning. And
you can't do anything about it. It's
like,
at that high level, it's like there's nothing.
Well, we can. We voted Trump in, and
yeah,
his idea is to stop all this shit, and hopefully we can do that.
Yeah.
Man, fuck. We got 60 more days until Trump gets in, or whatever it is.
As if Trump wasn't one of the exacerbating causes of all the shit that you're seeing right now.
Days is it, Jamie? But who knows? Maybe once he gets in, they'll ramp it up. Who knows? Maybe they'll sabotage his administration. That's what's even more scary.
Oh, so once he gets in, if things escalate, it's sabotaging his administration, not him just being incompetent. My God.
Scary. People don't want him in power. And the people that are in power don't want to leave power, and they'll try every way they can to keep it. 60 days from today. All right.
On the news.
60 days.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah. Just hope Putin understands what's going on as well, and Zelensky doesn't do anything stupid. But saying that Putin's terrified, God damn it.
It's like you're trying to, like, tug the tail of a fucking sleeping
dragon.
Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, what in the fuck was the thing about the dragons and Joy Reid and stuff? And, like, apparently the Daily Wire said Joe Rogan owned The View or something about his dragon view. Like, seriously, I captured the headline because it's just so, like, dumbfounded by it. Here it is. The View tries to discredit dragon believer Joe Rogan, and he hits back. Does he believe in dragons? It wouldn't surprise me.
And Zelensky doesn't do anything stupid, but saying that Putin's terrified, God damn it.
It's like you're trying to, like, tug the tail of a fucking sleeping
dragon.
Dragons.
Yeah. Also, Zelensky, can I get a drug test?
Wouldn't you fail that drug test? I'm pretty sure you would fail that drug test, Joe. Michael, Mansour Balls, good evening. Who else snuck in here on me? Tadpole, my friend. DM was running his stupid ass mouth earlier. Minty, good evening. Oh, shit. Barrett, you got little mini dragons. Yes, you do. And they are cute. Let's take a look at the aftermath of the supposed new missile launched by Russia from an undisclosed location in Ukraine.
Слід сказати, що Вказані уламки ракети були віднайдені.
It should be noted that the specified missile fragments were found and removed by investigators of the security service as a result of missile strike that was carried out in the city of Dnipro on November 21st.
Слід сказати, що
It should be noted that this is the first time that the remains of such a missile have been discovered on the territory of Ukraine. That is, the specified object was not documented by investigators of the security service before. Currently, all technical issues that interest you are subject to study and research. In this regard, investigators of the Security Service of Ukraine have appointed an appropriate examination. The specified missile is ballistic, moved along a ballistic trajectory, which was only affected by aerodynamic resistance, which resulted in damage to civilian infrastructure facilities and the infrastructure of the city of Dnipro in particular.
Міста Дніпра.
That looks like a camera. Speaking of munitions, Hezbollah apparently launched like 250 rockets at Israel. You know, for no reason. That's sarcasm.
A higher than usual number of rocket attacks from Hezbollah into Israel today. The IDF claiming that militant group fired approximately 250 projectiles into the country, and this coming on the heels of that IDF strike in central Beirut that killed at least 20 people and injured 66 others, according to Lebanese officials. Meantime, the IDF saying it
was retaliation
by Hamas that an Israeli hostage was killed in northern Gaza. The group not revealing the identity of that hostage nor how they died, only revealing that the woman was being held in Gaza. ABC News' Lama Hassan in London.
I bet I can guess how she died.
Yeah, hey, Phil, so we have quite a number of developments from the Middle East today, but here's what we know about two of the hostages who are being held in Gaza. On Saturday, the militant group Hamas released a statement saying a female hostage who was being held in northern Gaza was killed and another female hostage was injured. They say her life is in danger. We don't have any more details at this point. We don't know how the hostage was killed, and Hamas has not revealed their identities yet. We do know that northern Gaza has been under a deadly siege for weeks now. Now, the Israeli Defense Forces did respond to Hamas's statement saying that they are examining the information, they are investigating Hamas's claim, but they cannot confirm or refute it at this stage. We did hear from the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu this morning. He said he is in contact with one of the mothers of one of the hostages. He said it is difficult to describe the nightmare that she is going through. He did say and reiterated that they are doing everything possible to return the kidnapped men and women. Now, across the border in Lebanon, after the massive attack that Israel carried out overnight Friday and into Saturday morning, you'll recall that they hit a densely populated neighborhood in central Beirut. They also targeted southern Lebanon. They killed at least 20 people and injured at least 66 others. Well, Hezbollah retaliated with a large barrage of rockets, and according to the IDF, Hezbollah launched at least 250 projectiles. They crossed into Israel from Lebanon. Now, some were intercepted, but others landed in northern and central Israel. Now, we understand that at least 6 Israelis have been injured in this latest round of rocket attacks. Phil?
Lama, thank you from London.
I was trying to change one of the Nightbot commands real fast, and I don't see it. I don't know. I was trying to change them up earlier. See, added a few more. Somebody asked for my Venmo a couple weeks ago. I was like, I have a Venmo set for my business, but not for JustinFREAKIN. So I went and made that happen. I now got Cash App, Venmo, all that good shit set for JustinFREAKIN. If you so choose to give me money. I don't ask people for money. Your likes and your shares and telling people about the best damn news show on the internet covering the most absurd news, politics, and current events. That's all I ask for. Israel has also denounced the murder of a rabbi after a body was found in the UAE.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday denounced the killing of a rabbi in the United Arab Emirates as a, quote, heinous anti-Semitic terrorist act. The body of Rabbi Zvi Kogan was found as tensions in the region continue to rise, with reports of Israeli strikes killing dozens in Lebanon and Gaza over the weekend. Rabbi Kogan managed a kosher supermarket in Dubai, where he went missing on Thursday. He's seen in front of the store in this social media video, filmed 2 days before he disappeared. He also worked for an Orthodox Jewish group in the UAE. Netanyahu said on Sunday his country would, quote, act with all means to bring justice to the murderers. Kogan's body was found in the Emirati city of Al Ain, which borders Oman, though it is not clear if he was killed there or elsewhere.
I found it in Al Ain, but
that's according to a former Israeli Druze politician who spoke to Reuters. Emirati and Israeli authorities have not said who was involved in the killing or what the motive might have been. The region remains gripped by escalating conflicts as Israel's military issued new evacuation orders to residents in areas of Gaza City, setting off another wave of displacement on Sunday.
Fucking wow.
Israel also continued exchanging fire with the Lebanese armed group Hezbollah. According to Israeli rescue workers, Hezbollah launched more than 200 rockets into northern and central Israel on Sunday, injuring several people, while strikes by Israel's forces were seen hitting a suburb in Lebanon's capital of Beirut.
A suburb of Beirut.
Israeli airstrike the day before killed at least 84 people, according to Lebanese authorities.
Meanwhile, Israel is trying to shut down all the dissent they can. Sanctioning Haaretz, the best newspaper in Israel, due to articles that hurt the Israeli state, apparently. The Haaretz newspaper called the decision another step in Netanyahu's journey to dismantle Israeli democracy. Israel has approved a resolution to cut ties with the Israeli news outlet Haaretz and ban government funding bodies from communicating or placing advertisements with the newspaper. The government said its decision was due to many articles that have hurt the legitimacy of the state of Israel. I don't think Haaretz reporting on what you're doing is what's hurting the legitimacy of the state of Israel. Feel like it's the genocide that you're doing that's hurting the legitimacy of the state of Israel. Remarks, and particularly the remarks made in London by Haaretz publisher Amos Shokin that support terrorism and call for imposing sanctions on the government. Left-leaning news outlet added that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu approved the decision, which did not appear on the government's agenda for the weekly cabinet meeting. In response to the decision, Haaretz said it was an opportunist resolution to boycott Haaretz, which passed in today's government meeting without any legal review, and another step in Netanyahu's journey to dismantle Israeli democracy. Like his friends, Russian President Vladimir Putin, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, Netanyahu is trying to silence a critical independent newspaper. Haaretz will not balk and will not morph into a government pamphlet that publishes messages approved by the government and its leader. Solidarity with the reporters and publishers at Haaretz. That is not the only crackdown on dissent going on in Israel, however. Because of course it isn't. This is Afam.
Unfortunately, throughout the last year, there is a continuous effort by the police, by the security forces, basically to suppress.
This guy is a former Knesset member, so a former member of the Israeli parliament.
Security forces. Basically to suppress any freedom of expression within our community.
of people were arrested, a lot of people were facing criminal charges. This led to a situation where people are afraid to speak.
A human rights lawyer.
It's not just about emergency aid and not just giving food and help to our people in Gaza, but it's also to give a statement that we are one people.
The mother of a democracy activist who was imprisoned in Egypt has been on a hunger strike. Apparently for 2 months now.
Taking any calories at all. I'm taking just water and sugarless drinks and rehydration salts. Why? Because I've had enough. I've been running around prisons after my son and sometimes my daughter for 10 years now. I've had enough. And if I let the Egyptian authorities get away with keeping Alaa in prison, now that he has finished a completely unfair sentence, then he'll never come out. I cannot face years more of this. He has to come out now. And the British authorities have to do something about it because Alaa is a dual citizen.
Yes.
It's their responsibility, and Egypt is not an enemy country. I mean, it's not like Iran or whatever. It's
supposedly an ally.
A friendly country, a country that is allied to the British.
What is the British government saying to you? What has David Lammy said so far? Because I know you're going to meet him later on this week, aren't you?
Yes, I should meet him next Wednesday. I will then have been almost 2 months on hunger strike. He's been giving me reassurances that this is top priority, that they're discussing it with their Egyptian counterparts. But I've been hearing reassurances like these I heard reassurances like these for 2 years from the Conservative government. I expected something different from Mr. Lammy. First, because he is a minister who is here to stay, unlike the previous government. Everyone knew they were going away, so the Egyptians didn't have to take them seriously. And also, when Mr. Lammy was shadow foreign secretary, he made a number of statements about Alaa's case, and he said that there were measures the British government could take. So now that he's foreign secretary, I expect him to implement some of those measures.
Do you think on Wednesday when you meet him, he will give you more assurances, or do you think he'll give you more cast iron action?
I hope he will give me action, because we are all running out of time.
What is cast iron action? Is that a brand of skillet?
Strike for 60 days. I'm still functioning semi-normally, but I cannot expect that to last. I don't want to have my health collapse or to die. Of course,
I don't want you to either.
I'm sure Mr. Lammy would be very embarrassed if that happens. So I really hope we don't get there. I really hope we get action on this, and quick action, so that we can all sort of put this behind us. I can
pussy in bio.
I can have time with my children and with my grandchildren without having to run around prisons.
Layla, I mean, it's a difficult thing to do at any point, of course, a hunger strike. You're in your late 60s. We can see how it's taking its toll. How are you feeling physically?
I've lost a lot of weight. My daughters say...
Which one you want?
Slower.
I think all three are in here.
Other than that, as I said, I'm still functioning semi-normally, but I cannot expect this to last.
Pick a pussy.
I mean,
Don't
you've
care.
long been an activist in Egypt. Your husband was as well, Allah too. Do you think the family is being punished by the Egyptian authorities for that decades of activism?
Yes, I do believe that. Everyone who had anything to do with the
He was not cooperative. Very upset that like he was posed like a French girl or something over here, licking himself. Very upset that I grabbed him.
revolution of 2011 is being punished by the Egyptian authorities.
The Arab Spring, as it was called.
Yes, the Arab Spring. Everyone is being punished if they can get hold of them, if they can punish them. Particularly those who have not broken down, those who are still...
Yeah, I kind of feel like things are worse after the Arab Spring.
To the authorities. So
at least in Egypt.
But on the other hand, the Egyptian authorities do back down. They do let people go. They do, if they're approached either by the right pressure or by the right. I mean, I'm sure the British authorities can find a way of doing this. Whether it's whether by asking a favor from friends or by pressuring them,
yes.
Because there are a lot of things at stake between them, whatever. Yeah.
Has everyone seen like the pictures from inside the McDonald's, like looking at the pyramids and shit? There's people from Egypt that they find it funny that in movies it's portrayed like the pyramids are far out in the desert and shit, but in reality, Cairo is right fucking there, and there's a McDonald's within walking distance of the pyramids. I think that's pretty cool. I get a kick out of that. Let's go to the Philippines and what might be the most interesting story we do tonight, because holy shit. The Vice President of the Philippines threatening the President.
Philippine authorities step up security for the first family following threats made by Vice President Sara Duterte. Katrina Domingo has tonight's top story.
May kinausap na ako na tao.
Now, I'm going to assume that she's the daughter of Rodrigo Duterte, who was the former dictator, I will say, of the Philippines. The former president.
Has tonight's top story.
That may just be a coincidence, though.
May kinausap na ako na tao. Sinabi ko sa kanya, kapag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM.
I've already talked to someone. I told him that if I were to be killed, I don't want to say that. First Lady Liza Araneta and House Speaker Martin. So she's making a threat in retaliation to if she is assassinated. She's saying that's no joke. I already made arrangements. I told them not to stop until they are disposed of.
Si Liza Araneta at si Martin Romales. No joke. No joke. Nagbilin na ako, ma'am. Pag namatay ako, sabi ko, huwag ka tumigil hanggang hindi mo mapatay sila.
Hardcore indeed.
And then he said yes.
Vice President Sara Duterte repeatedly underscored that she was not joking when she claimed to have contracted an individual to terminate President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., First Lady Liza Marcos, and Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez should she be killed amid the worsening political squabble between her and the administration. The Vice President gave this statement in an online video conference while she stayed inside the detention room of her Chief of Staff, Attorney Zulaika Lopez, inside the Batasang Pambansa, shortly after House officials ordered Lopez's transfer to a correctional facility. Malacanang did not take Duterte's words lightly, with executives.
She is indeed Rodrigo Duterte's daughter.
Secretary Lucas Bersamin ordering the Presidential Security Command to hike the chief executive's security. The palace says any statement against the president's safety is treated as an active threat. In a separate statement, the Presidential Security Command says it has heightened and strengthened security protocols for the president and the First Family. The PSC adds that it treats with utmost seriousness any threats to the life of the president, especially one made so brazenly. Political analyst Ed Montayo says Duterte's threats may be a tactic to shift the public's attention away from congressional investigations into her office's alleged misuse of confidential funds. Tayo says officials, including Duterte, should answer all allegations hurled against them instead of just continuously blame shifting.
My advice is to answer this allegation fairly and squarely. Ang problema dito, hindi na nga nasasagot yung issue, magbabato ka pa ng ibang issue. So, iniiba yung usapan eh. Yun ang nangyayari.
For Senate President Francis Escudero, the Vice President should review whether her recent remarks truly serve the Filipino people. He called on those close to the Vice President to advise her against making such statements that neither benefit her nor her office. Escudero is also calling on all parties involved to ease tensions to prevent further harm and to avoid diverting attention from urgent issues requiring the government's focus. Former Senator and former Police Chief Panfilo.
Wait, was there a ghost in the background? Or somebody in the sheet right here?
Diverting attention from urgent issues requiring the government's
What in the
focus.
fuck?
Former Senator and former Police Chief Panfilo Lacson issued a similar appeal. He said someone should intervene between the warring camps and push for a ceasefire as the Philippines should focus on more important work. In the midst of all these politicking, the Armed Forces of the Philippines asserts that it remains to be a professional organization duty-bound to protect the public and the state. AFP Chief Romeo Bronner Jr. assures the public that the AFP will remain true to the Constitution and the chain of command. Katrina Domingo, ABS-CBN News.
See, I thought Marcos was a puppet of the former President Duterte. Am I wrong about that? Clearly a lot of corruption going on in the Philippines, which is unfortunate. Lovely island, my nieces are part Filipino. And the island has been ravaged. First by typhoons about a week ago, and as of today, a huge fire engulfed a residential compound in Manila.
As many as 10,000 people are now homeless after a massive fire in the Philippines' capital city of Manila.
Take a look at this video. Huge flames quickly engulfed this neighborhood today, forcing hundreds of families out of their homes. It happened in the Tondo district, which is one of the poorest and most densely populated districts in Manila. Most of the houses were made from light combustible materials, so the fire quickly spread. No deaths have been reported.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great AB.
No deaths have been reported as of yet. If there are no deaths from that, they are insanely lucky. It's coming on the heels of a super typhoon. Manyi leaves towns in the Philippines flooded with water.
The floodwater from the typhoon and the surrounding provinces gushed here because the elevation of the land here is lower. The nearby river passes through here to Tarlac province. That's what caused the floods here.
Poor people.
We were scared.
The winds were strong last night. We were worried our roof would get damaged. The situation is very difficult. This water will turn into thick mud.
Yep. Fucking heartbreaking. Of course, all these storms being exacerbated by climate change. COP29 taking place over the last few days. The COP29 summit brings together countries to meet to talk about climate change.
World leaders
got contentious too.
11th-hour deal on climate finance at the COP29 summit in Azerbaijan. Wealthier countries have pledged $300 billion a year by 2035 to help poorer nations tackle climate change. But there wasn't universal support for the deal, with the Indian delegation calling the figure a paltry sum. Just hours before, it looked like the talks were on the verge of collapse after a group representing underdeveloped and lower-lying nations walked out of the conference room. They eventually came back to the negotiating table, but were angered by the offer from wealthier nations, which was far short of the $500 billion they wanted. From Baku, here's our climate editor, Justin Rolat.
It was in the early hours of this morning when the key text was agreed. To huge applause from the room.
Yeah, pat yourselves on the back.
This deal was hard fought. At one stage, the talks looked set to collapse. Representatives of dozens of the world's least developed countries stormed out of a key meeting.
We've just walked out. We came here to this COP for a fair deal. We feel that we haven't been heard, and there's a deal to be made, and we are not being consulted.
Now, you may say, why would it be up to the other countries to give the poorer countries money? It's because the poorer countries are not the ones putting all the greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, but they will be the ones that suffer the damage the most, just like we saw in the Philippines.
At the same time, there was an effort by a group of fossil fuel-rich countries, led by Saudi Arabia, to water down a promise made at last year's COP conference to transition away from fossil fuels. The final deal here includes both a $300 billion a year commitment to helping developing countries tackle climate change and that strong language on cutting emissions.
I'm very pleased that we've got this deal through. It's the right thing for Britain. It's the right thing for speeding up the clean energy transition, which is good for Britain in that it will help protect us against climate change, and that's the right thing to do. And it will also help generate jobs and growth for people in Britain. It's an 11th hour deal at the 11th hour for climate and for keeping 1.5 degrees alive.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do for Britain and the right thing for the world.
Some people are saying this deal isn't generous enough, that developed nations are dodging the debt they owe the developing world.
Yep.
Others are saying it shows that despite the divisions, despite Donald Trump threatening to pull America out of the process, the world can come together in this cooperative UN effort to tackle the existential threat of climate change. Justin Rolat, BBC News, Baku.
Well, as we've heard, it's been...
Well, I guess, you know, a token symbol is what the world is able to come together and do. The city hosting it in Azerbaijan, though, a climate fucking disaster. This piece from the AP. Wait a minute, what? Oh, this is the host of COP 30, not the COP 29 was in Azerbaijan. COP 30 is going to be held in Belém, Brazil, which is plagued with pollution and violence.
Essa água aqui era cristalina. Ela só ficava branquinha.
Water is crystal clear. It only become cloudy when the tide came up. It would become cloudy.
Isso aqui era só mato.
It was all bush on both sides, very few houses.
Casa ainda, entendeu?
It's not as populated as today. This is a construction worker. Changed a lot around here. You see how dirty it is on the bank of the creek here? The trash truck is now passing by 3 times a week. I have never thrown a single bag of trash in this river because I know how it was and I wanted it to come back to how it was. But it won't. It'll never be like that. It's the upcoming COP30. It doesn't say when it's taking place. Okay, it's next year. It is a fun country name to say, but it's also a horrendous country that, wait a minute. Am I getting it backwards? Is it Azerbaijan that keeps getting genocide by the Armenians? Yes, there we go. I have it backwards. Azerbaijan is the victims of the Armenian genocide. No, the Armenians are the victims of Azerbaijan's. No, I had it right the first time. God damn it. Sorry. The Armenians keep getting genocided by Azerbaijan with the help of Turkey. That's how that works. Donald Trump got elected, but egg prices are not coming down. In fact, it's the exact opposite. The eggs are going up.
People heading to the grocery store for Thanksgiving are seeing higher prices for eggs. The Consumer Price Index report says egg prices in October were up more than 30% from last year. A spike in avian flu and the holiday season are colliding to make this problem even worse. Rising prices could also affect other egg-based items like mayonnaise and pasta. The USDA is warning high prices could stick around well into 2025.
That is such a wild way to frame that story, because, like, the reason egg prices are skyrocketing is because we're on the verge of yet another pandemic. It coming. The CDC has confirmed a U.S. child is sick with the bird flu.
The CDC confirming the first case has been found and contracted in a child in California here. I want to put this up. Take a look at this. So I have in front of me the statement from the CDC. We also have this tweet there that bird flu has been confirmed in a child for the first time in the United States. So let's gear up for some more of our expert guests and analysts that we talk to all the time about these major headlines, including our friend there at UC San Francisco, infectious disease specialist, Dr. Peter Chin Hong. He will be joining me momentarily.
Dead air, guys.
Important. We've been covering some of the bird flu cases throughout the course of the last few months, but they have only impacted and infected adults. The news today is that a case has been confirmed.
Well, other than the child in Canada.
For the first time. This is according to the CDC there, a child in California. The first reported avian influenza infection in a child in the nation. An investigation now, though, into how the child was exposed to the virus in the first place is going on. The CDC has it. Let's put that up here. CDC has confirmed an H5 bird flu case in a child in California. The patient had mild symptoms, received flu antivirals, and is recovering. The public risk assessment remains low, but people should avoid exposure to sick or dead animals including wild birds, poultry, cows, and other wild or domesticated birds here. In the meantime, let's bring to the conversation, like I said, our friend.
I'm not seeing any update, but last I'm seeing is that it's a teenager in Canada is still in critical condition.
Dr. Peter Chin Hung, who joins us. Doctor, always good to see you here. You're going to help us make sense of this. We've talked about these several cases of adults being contracted with bird flu, and now a child. How does this happen, and how concerned are you?
I think it's still being investigated, Andrew, but like you said, first time a child has had a known case of H5N1 or avian flu. And,
in the U.S.
So far, all the other cases in the dairy outbreak have been dairy workers from milk splashes. But again, the angle of maybe exposure to wild birds, because it is a pandemic in fowl and wild birds right now, just like it's in some chickens, affecting the price of eggs. So that's the going hypothesis as to how the child might have acquired it. But fortunately, the child is doing fine, got antivirals. And again, in terms of good news, the 4 antivirals we have for flu, they all work against avian flu. So again, luckily, a good outcome in this case.
Good outcome, yeah, because we're learning as well. Follow-up testing showed the child was negative for bird flu, but did show positive for other common respiratory viruses, like you mentioned here. Concerning nonetheless, though. I mean, it is scary when you get something like that because it is so obscure and so random here. You know, we've talked about this before, the bird flu. I don't know what you want to
random
call it, outbreak, because there have been sporadic cases. Hasn't been kind of a full-blown epidemic, but it seems to be slow-moving.
Like 15 herds in California.
Up here and there. Is that to be expected here?
We have a confirmed case in a pig. No,
unfortunately, it's not going to burn out because the march of evolution is happening in the this particular type of flu, which is H5N1, meaning that it was just in birds first, and then it came to other mammals like seals and sea lions, and in California like bobcats and skunks. And now it's crossed over to affecting humans at direct contact. So you're with poultry, infected poultry, or infected dairy cattle, you get splashed and you get it. But humans are dead-end hosts right now. It doesn't go from a human to human. I think what we're worried about is that it continues to evolve where the virus can unlock the insides of a human and enter the bloodstream. So far, it's kind of just staying on the outside.
So, yeah, I wanted to ask, I mean, what are the symptoms? I know it's rare and everyone's kind of monitoring this, but what are the symptoms? And, you know.
Bagheera, you fucking dumbass. Come in here and accuse me of fear-mongering for talking about an actual pandemic that is well on its way to starting. Virologists have been going apeshit about this for months now because we could have stopped it. But because of dumbasses like you, it's actually going to become a pandemic. But yet you don't think you're fear-mongering when you come in here talking about the Biden administration letting in illegal aliens or the woke mind virus. You are a dumbass. But we're glad to have you here. Good evening. Welcome in. Teachers in Boston unable to strike a deal to end a strike. We stand in solidarity with the teachers.
And students are gathering here outside of Hannah Elementary School in Beverly, standing in support of their teachers. You can see that group gathering right out here behind me. This vigil comes as the clock ticks down, a judge ordering teachers and school committee members, both here in Beverly and in Marblehead, to reach a deal or face state intervention. A judge giving both sides in both districts until 6 o'clock tonight, or be subjected to a state-led fact-finding process. Educators and teachers alike.
We've dealt with it during the Obama administration and did a great job.
Teachers saying they want better pay and benefits, while committee members say they've made multiple offers that are financially doable. Today, parents in Beverly saying they stand in support of their teachers.
The teachers are fixing the system for the future. This is not about right now. It's not about, I wish my kids were back at school, because we all wish our kids were back at school.
In Beverly, the school committee chair saying their latest.
Yes, as the doctor described, it is pandemic in
quote, we have had for 2
birds.
days an improved, serious, and fair offer on the table for our teachers and paraprofessionals. Taking you back live out here in Beverly, you can see that group of students and their parents heading to the front of the school right now, candles in hand for this vigil. At this point, we are waiting to see what comes next. Now that 6 o'clock judge-imposed deadline is here. Now we're expecting to hear from school committee members in both districts at some point this evening to find out what comes next for these students, parents, families, and educators in these two communities. Live in Beverly, Emily Maha, WCVB News Center 5.
Bagheera, you're fucking stupid. I'm sorry. There's just no other way to put it. You're fucking dumb. This is going to be a perfect storm with the Trump administration coming in. If we go by the same time frame of the COVID pandemic, I don't think you really can, because it was already spreading human to human by this time in 2019. Then we're looking at February, March, it will be full blown in the population. Right as Trump is really getting started with his presidency. Believe God's trying to tell you fuckers something, but you keep electing Donald Trump. Police chase in LA ended in a deadly crash.
Person LAPD chase ends in a deadly crash. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jasmine Veal.
And I'm Gio Insignares. Welcome to KCAL News at 9, streaming live on CBS News Los Angeles.
So a chase ended in tragedy in the San Fernando Valley. The suspect slamming into a Tesla, killing that innocent driver and then injuring several others.
And KCAL News reporter Michelle.
Hey, dumb shit. Does it look like I'm getting a kick out of any of this? Seriously, you fucking idiot.
Geely in Winnetka. And Michelle, police say this investigation will be reviewed by the chief. Is that right?
That's right. The mangled cars were removed from the intersection behind me here just about 30 minutes or so ago. Not long before that, the husband of the innocent driver who was killed came here to identify his wife. A woman in a Tesla was killed by the driver of a stolen car, according to authorities, after officers in 2 LAPD patrol cars pursued the Mercedes SUV in Winnetka. Officers say the violent crash flipped the Mercedes and caused the Tesla to collide with 2 other cars in the intersection of Mason Avenue and Satakoy Street.
Shit.
So it all started around 1:45 near Vano and Corwin when LAPD officers saw a stolen white Mercedes that is back here. They waited for backup and our airship to come and support them in that traffic stop, but suddenly that white Mercedes took off at a high rate of speed.
Detective Megan Aguilar says the pursuit lasted only a minute before the suspect, who was in his 40s, slammed into the Tesla driver. The sound of the 4-car crash brought neighbors out to the street.
That's why I didn't get an alert for this one.
Brakes and then the big commotion. We all ran outside to come and see what happened. We seen the white car flipped. The guy got out of it and tried to run, but there was already cops here and everything, so they got him. Got a hold of the whole situation. Looked like a lot of people were injured.
A man in the Toyota and the unidentified suspect were taken to the hospital with minor injuries several hours after the fatal collision. As investigators gathered evidence and people stood on the sidewalk to watch, the area became silent as
Oh fuck, I actually do Monsieur balls.
Of the dead woman, escorted by a police sergeant and a member of the mayor's crisis response team, came to the scene.
It is terribly tragic, and the LAPD is constantly looking at our pursuit policy. It's something that I've seen evolve year after year after year, and trust me, this investigation goes to the chief of police, and it is something that when he looks at it, he's constantly having
Can't blame this one on the cops, I don't think.
for us to pursue any type of individual and the safety of the public.
The LAPD detective could not say where the Mercedes was stolen from, only that the suspect will be booked for vehicular manslaughter and likely facing murder charges. Live in Winnetka, I'm Michelle Geely. Back to you.
I think that's the only real death I got on the crime news stories tonight. Oh, the rest aren't even crime. Yeah, that's the only crime I got tonight. Huh. Weird. No interesting crime stories in the United States over the weekend. Something's up. Here you go, New York, where a wall collapse is wreaking havoc with some townhouses.
Now to our other top story.
Hear like this cracking sound. I'm like, okay, what the heck is that? Went to go check the basement, and the whole foundation was just split straight down parallel with the ground.
A wall collapses at the Winston Woods townhouses in Brockport. It happened around 3:30 this afternoon. News 10 NBC's Marcia Gustin spoke to a man who lives in one of the apartments where that
I think it was yesterday.
Caved in. He says he evacuated immediately.
That massive hole.
Yeah, that's my basement.
That's what she said.
That's your basement.
It completely destroyed everything that was in there. It's all washed out, and all the cinder block and foundation is collapsed in on it. There's probably about like 2 foot, 3 foot of water standing down there now.
Jared Clyde lives in an apartment at the Winston Woods townhomes. He describes the scary moments when the wall of his basement caved in. He was having lunch with his girlfriend at the time.
Me and my girlfriend looked at each other and immediately got out as quick as we could. As soon as we touched the top step, all we heard was just the wall break through.
Jared says they are still.
Wow.
It was a complete shock. I froze for a second, and I like immediate panic mode, flight or fight.
Jared says a private contractor repaired a water main break yesterday, and that afterwards was told everything was fine. Chris Martin with the Brockport Fire Department explains they are investigating all possible causes.
To our understanding, had repaired the break, but then after having
apparently not
water that was flowing into the apartment, we don't know if there was a second break or if the first break wasn't properly repaired.
Jared, his girlfriend, and their 4 pets are displaced right now, but he's counting his lucky stars.
It could have been a lot worse, but thankfully it wasn't.
The Brockport Fire Department and Monroe County emergency crews and first responders are continuing to investigate to find out how did this exactly happen. In Brockport, Marcia Gustin, News 10,
sinkhole.
NBC.
You didn't think a giant sinkhole was worth a watch? As I said, apparently it's been quiet in the U.S. this weekend. I'm usually stocked on crazy crime stories. This one isn't a crime story. It's also not your pet story for the night. A teacher gave students some doggy treats.
The birthday celebration at a local school ends in disaster. A teacher in Calhoun County is accused of serving dog treats to students at a class party. The teacher thought the treats were beef jerky. WTVA's Wayne Herford talked to parents about what happened. He joins us live in Calhoun City.
It was actually bacon bits.
With their reaction.
That's right, Craig. That teacher is no longer employed here at the Calhoun City School District, Calhoun County District.
Seems like a honest mistake.
Today who told me their kids were 2 of 8 students who ate the beef dog treats. It happened Wednesday at a class party. One of the parents that I talked to,
was it good?
Take her son to the hospital after he ate dog treats. Superintendent Dr. Lisa Langford says 8 children at the school had at least one bite of the treats as part of a class birthday celebration. The superintendent gave the school nurse credit for responding quickly and calling poison control. She did not release the teacher's name. One parent, as I said, I talked to, says she does not want to believe that happened.
Or I want to believe it because I don't want to believe anybody would do anything like that to kids, but it's hard to believe that you didn't know that and it's a dog on the pack and it says dog jerky on the pack.
Now, I did a quick check online this afternoon and found out that at least one dog jerky brand that I found had ingredients that I cannot pronounce, and it did not appear to be good for human consumption.
Brother. Fucking burger from McDonald's has plenty of ingredients you cannot pronounce.
That the lady I talked to in the piece here just moments ago said that her daughter told her that the teacher told them that the treats were given to her by another family member. She did not know they were dog treats. Reporting live here in Calhoun City, I'm Wayne Herford, WTVA 9 News.
Not the shit I buy him, Lord. I go to the meat department and get fucking meat. I get flour and sugar and shit. I make my shit. Kind of a food snob. Matter of fact, looking forward to getting settled into a new place where I can cook again. Apparently there's a whole uproar over a, I say it correctly, Jaguar. A Jaguar commercial. I feel weird if I don't say Jaguar. A Jaguar commercial that didn't feature any cars.
This, let me just move that in front of the camera there. That is the Jaguar, what do we call that? The mark? The logo, the brand thing, and they're scrapping
Emblem.
Let me just put it a bit lower there. Okay, there we are. Can you see it? Okay. So, and I'll show you what they're putting instead. And I don't know where this is going to be now. None of these woke things.
Oh, it's woke.
You can't just point it.
Jaguar went woke
all the time.
Look at this.
Right, that's what it is now. Well, is that not woke?
Hideous.
Why is it woke? Why is everything woke you just don't like? I don't know. Is that what it means now?
Well, because...
Seriously.
You're in a good mood today. Because the Jaguar snarling is unwoke.
Because it's angry and it's violent. And
it's feral.
Let's see.
Okay, let's see the ad. It's an ad and it doesn't have a car in it.
Pretty sure there's been plenty of ads like this before. This is let me blow some minds in here. This is called outrage marketing. So dumb fucks like Bagheera, they get them all fucking riled up by doing shit like this, and then they get free advertising. Right wingers are goddamn morons that get played every fucking time.
So the JR on the logo is Jaguar Land Rover. Oh, and you tell me that's not a woke advert.
I mean, I've read the Daily Telegraph, and I think if it was supposed to be woke, it would be very much foregrounded by the Daily Telegraph. It's nothing to do with woke. They just, I mean, they say is that companies always reinvent themselves for whatever reason.
It looks high concept, which you would think would go with a brand like Jaguar. Let's watch it again. I mean, I'm kind of into it.
You're in a good mood today. Because the Jaguar snarling is unwoke.
Because it's angry and it's repressed violence. And
it's feral. Let's see. Okay, let's see.
Feral.
It's an ad and it doesn't have a car in it.
Oh yeah, it's people of color. People possibly non-binary, non-gender conforming. That's what makes it woke.
So the JR on the logo is Jaguar Land Rover. Oh, and you tell me that's not a woke advert.
I mean, I've read the Daily Telegraph, and I think if it was supposed to be woke, it would be very much foregrounded by the Daily Telegraph. It's nothing to do with woke. They just, I mean, they say is companies always reinvent themselves for whatever reason. They go through phases. They say it's a powerful celebration of modernism that seamlessly builds upper and lowercase characters in visual harmony. It's obviously gone through a lot of committees, I can tell. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it is a distinctive growl of
I think the
cows.
Sun says it's woke, but I mean, listen, it doesn't matter if it's woke or not.
But
the company does something I don't like.
It's
Woke.
incessant attempt to turn everything into a culture war, including the logo of a car. It's just
seriously.
Because it is.
So
Because
bored of
what
it.
I don't understand, surely market forces would say you spend years building up a luxury brand, which is immediately identifiable by this very, very striking logo. A Jaguar. It's a...
I didn't even know the logo. I don't think that's the logo they use on Gran Turismo. I think it was just like an outline of a cat.
Cats. That's the whole point.
I don't like. By the way, this to me.
People stop buying Jaguars. Then
This is a picture of the worst driver, right? That is why I don't like it.
That's what I
this
look like
typifies.
before the
Yeah. Well, no, you don't. But this is an aggressive Type A. That's a male Jaguar. You can tell. And
you can tell.
That's also...
And it probably wants to hit the cyclist.
Yeah.
That's what worries me.
Probably
about
just
it.
eating a cyclist. Can you not see a bit of wheel
it's
coming
eating
out
a
of
cyclist, yeah.
its tooth? No.
There's- all right.
Jaguars are... Jaguar cats are fast.
Are all Jaguars
stylish when you see them.
female? That would be hilarious.
Imagine why they called the car a Jaguar. Now, if you showed that advert to anybody and said, apart from the bit that says Jaguar at the end, and said, what's that an advert for?
Wouldn't even know. It
You
was a
would
car.
not even know.
No.
To me, all the rules of subliminal advertising, I'm not an expert on this field, completely failed. You've trashed a brand that you spent years building up, and then you've done this stupid, hyper-woke advert, which...
Oh, it's not even woke anymore. It's now hyper-woke.
Yeah, it's gone hyper-woke, yeah.
Because
Is it ultra hyper-woke as well?
Yeah, it's gone into full Elon Musk rocket woke.
It is rocket woke.
Multi-ultra
And rocket
super woke.
All right, listen.
Oh, but you're not fear-mongering about woke. Josephus. Oh, yes, I know exactly what woke means.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
But I mean, like, fucking, I explained it. It's outrage marketing. It's to get people that are dumb, like Bagheera, all fucking riled up. And then they get free advertising because people debate whether it's woke or not on their fucking talk shows. We live in hell. This is late stage capitalism hell. I want off this ride. Maybe I can have a pleasurable way to end it. The designer of the euthanasia coaster apparently invented an orgasm funfair machine for a pleasurable death. The designer has controversially called it the most pleasant machine in the world. Lithuanian engineer Julijonas Urbanus is the man responsible for creating a hypothetical death machine, as you've probably heard of his award-winning roller coaster project in 2010. His 1,600-foot roller coaster concept was designed to go up to 223 miles per hour, as each of the 24 passengers would experience a series of looping tracks, which get smaller and smaller as the roller coaster progresses. The 10 G's of force, which essentially 10 times your body weight force coming down on you, would eventually kill you. Now, during an exhibition in 2015, Urbanus spoke about another one of his theoretical inventions, the cum spin, which was actually inspired from the euthanasia roller coaster. I was collaborating with various physicists, space medicine experts, and once I was dealing with physiology of euthanasia roller coaster, new scientists would make jokes that you can make some adjustments in various nature coaster and make it the most extreme sex machine. So I took it as a joke and didn't spend much time on this joke, but all of a sudden when I realized that what they meant was so-called erotic erotic asphyxiation that it turns out it's very popular around the world. I thought, why not make a safer means of doing that? So wait a minute. So it does kill you at the end. He coined cum spin as an orgasm-enhancing funfair machine, which causes a pleasurable death. By the end of it, you won't know whether you're coming or going. Oh! The cum spin. A grad student in North Carolina has apparently discovered a planet orbiting a nearby star. Oh my God, Bagheera, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna ban the word woke.
It was kind of surreal. I have a Slack channel with my PI, and I kind of sent him a screenshot, and I was like, I think this is real, but it seems super young. And he was like, well, we will look into this.
Making me miss all this because I'm seriously going and banning the phrase
in our
woke.
solar system, but what makes it a transiting planet is that it passes in between our line of sight and the star. So we look at the star over time and we look at how bright it is, and as that planet orbits the star and passes between our line of sight and the star, it blocks a little bit of the light, making a little dip in the light curve, and that is a transit. Part of my thesis project is working to discover these really young transiting systems in hopes of better understanding how planets evolve and really better understanding how our own Earth evolved and it formed. And this planet discovery popped out of that large-scale survey looking for these really young systems.
I know there's a place I can ban phrases.
We primarily just have a large population of older planets, and
I can't find it.
Fantastic. We can learn a lot from that. We can't really make any strong conclusions about how these planets formed and evolved, and so we really have to look for young transiting systems as little snapshots in time to be able to create this sort of flip book of understanding how planets form and evolve. And because we don't have a ton of these young transiting systems that we know of, it's really important that we look for more so that we can have a better picture of what that formation and evolution.
Oh, block terms and phrases. There we go.
Understand how our own home formed and evolved.
I have not.
God damn it! It is done. Woke has been banned. Some of these I don't understand. Some of these have never been used in the chat before. What? How did these get? I like that white powder had been banned. No one can say the word woke anymore. Motherfucker, it's my chat. That's not free speech. You gotta follow my rules in here, and I'm tired of you saying fucking woke all the time. Hey, Holiday. I banned the phrase woke because Bagheera keeps saying it. And we watched Joni Ernst, who's going to be the head of the Doge cock in Congress. And I called her office. She said she wanted to make people squeal, and I was like, I can squeal for you if you'll become my GOP mommy. What the fuck? Do we not have video of this? No, I can't not have video of this. Surely we got some sort of NASA video or something. We are bidding farewell to our mini moon that I didn't even know we had. We've apparently had a moon, or a piece of the moon, following us around. We have now lost our mini moon out of orbit. Speculation was that it was actually a part of our moon. It's been following us around several months now, I do believe. Planet Earth is parting company with an asteroid that's been tagging along as a mini moon for the past 2 months. A harmless space rock will peel away on Monday, overcome by the stronger tug of the sun's gravity, but it will zip closer for a quick visit in January. That's where you were seeing the orbit via NASA. NASA will use a radar antenna to observe the 33-foot asteroid then. That should deepen scientists' understanding of the object known as 2024 PT5, quite possibly a boulder that was blasted off the moon by an impacting crater-forming asteroid. While not technically a moon, NASA stresses it was never captured by Earth's gravity and fully in orbit is an interesting object worth studying. The astrophysicist brothers who identified the asteroid's mini-moon behavior of the University of Madrid have collaborated with telescopes in the Canary Islands for hundreds of observations so far. Currently more than 2 million miles away, the object is too small and faint to see without a powerful telescope. So you have to have a telescope to see it, apparently. Cannot be seen with the naked eye. But if you want some eye candy, I'll give you some eye candy. And no, I'm not talking about Byronic. The city of Paris lighting up their Christmas lights. Why they choose to light up their Christmas lights then? We do it after, we do it on Friday or Saturday in Rockefeller Center. Because it's like a Thanksgiving tradition to light the fucking tree. They don't have Thanksgiving in France. Was it Bastille Day or some shit? Well, since I wasn't going to, but since Monsieur Balls requested it, I do indeed have a car chase in the bag for you. So I guess we will.
One more time on the road. Northbound. And it looks like we might be getting back on the 710 freeway or onto the 710 or maybe even the... Okay, so it's the 5. So it looks like we're getting back on the southbound 5. So this person just got off the freeway, drove recklessly on Telegraph, and now you see this will probably go back on the shoulder to pass the traffic, but you've got a lot of congestion on the 5 right now. This is a Friday afternoon.
So we've got a hit and run suspect. It's happened on Friday.
What we're looking at is just what Air 7 is showing us. We're not quite certain the air support they have or how many vehicles are behind that one CHP officer, but this person...
Car chase is a cornerstone of this stream. It didn't used to be. It just recently...
It does look like it's just one officer.
Became that.
So we have one CHP officer following this expedition who nearly hit that the semi there, but we don't.
It's been in like the last 6 months that I've adopted this
on the 5, and there's just
police
no
chase
chance that on the 5 freeway it's ever going to relax as far as congestion. Looks like Washington Boulevard again. And we're going to see there's some indecision on this driver, but yes, they've decided to take Washington Boulevard exit again.
Probably best.
Now, again, we're
look at that traffic on the freeway
area, and you've exited the freeway, and maybe we're going to back on the freeway on the northbound side. There's another. That was an SUV.
This one is from L.A.
CHP. So okay, so it stayed southbound. Did not do it.
Was the 5
stayed on the southbound side of
freeway
the 5
that they just got off of. I think this is a woman
choice for this driver because the shoulder has been where they were able to get some speed and drive, and then every time there was a chance to get back into traffic, it's just the congestion is just what really.
It was 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon in L.A.
They would just get off of that, and so now this recklessness on this shoulder, there's a near accident right there. So up on the curb, into the dirt, and then back because the shoulder just left. There was just nowhere for this person to go. CHP is in the same constraints, though. Right now, they haven't hit anybody, which is
amazing.
Hit anybody in the pursuit because it started with a hit and run. But let's see now as we
haven't hit anybody else
under this overpass, up again on the shoulder, and here we go. So we've been on this now here.
Looks like it's an off lane,
just
an off
watching
ramp.
this Ford Expedition, who has, for the most part, stayed on the 5 freeway. Now, once again, on an exit, and we'll see which one it is. It might be Telegraph. It looks. This is Garfield exit. Okay, so it's staying, right in that same area, and it is almost useless to project what this person is thinking or wanting to do. But the CHP, they've engaged another officer. There's now an SUV and this patrol vehicle, and so here we go. See if they're going to get through another one of these intersections.
So tonight's gonna be the last Troll Patrol for just a little bit.
Box truck there, and
gonna take a little hiatus for a couple of weeks.
People get frustrated seeing somebody get up on them like this, and then they end up getting involved, and CHP would never want you to do that. But that's a U-Haul box truck.
Might try to be
now turning through the intersection.
On tomorrow or the next day to do.
And we're back northbound on Telegraph.
Thanksgiving television specials.
Really picked up speed a moment ago, 65, 70 miles an hour on Telegraph. And not quite sure what we're going to. Yeah, there we are again, 71. And look, they're
yeah, Holiday.
And it's just going to catch people so by surprise.
I made this move here, and it's not working out.
Making a regular commute, but now.
And I need to bail.
This person driving into the turn lane, and here we go again, using the turn lane or restricted area to navigate around any heavier traffic. So here we go again, almost 85 miles an hour.
Yeah, it was fast.
And you can see the backup there of all these people. Now they're going the other direction, of course.
And I don't exactly have a plan
into the turn lane.
And don't have anywhere to take the kiddies.
Oncoming traffic, which is just incredibly dangerous.
We'll figure it out.
Given the size of that vehicle, that Expedition is not going to be able to slow down quickly. And the sheer mass of it, if there is any type of collision, it's just going to be a horrific accident. So now
giving what a solid try.
And look at the congestion and the speed.
Yeah, M-Lord, yeah.
Maneuvering through that traffic. Powerful vehicle. It is.
Yeah, Holiday.
Stable and able to be maneuvered, but it is just. You hate to see that kind of driving when there's so many people.
This was a hit and run, so this is their vehicle. It's not like a stolen vehicle or anything.
Off in the distance.
As someone who is an expert on police chases now, I can tell you the best way to get away is either be on a motorcycle or be willing to ditch your vehicle in a parking garage.
Right there. I think did it just go by to the right? Air 7 is maybe listening. Yeah, I went under the freeway there, bottom, just by the Air 7 of the.
Yeah, some of you have made comments about I don't seem like myself and everything, and yeah.
I don't. We might have lost the vehicle here for a second. There they are. There's CHP, and there's the vehicle.
Now you know.
We ran across another expedition, and so this person is now still on. Is this still Telegraph? Yeah. Could be Atlantic Boulevard. So clearly they are driving again for the most part in the same area. But this is the same.
I do believe this is a female driver.
Struggled with the person driving into the turn lane and passing, and then really picking up speed on these surface streets that are, not freeway speeds certainly. But the one thing is we've seen.
Go to Subway, get you a $5 footlong, right, Avalon?
Really.
You probably meant a different kind of Subway.
Way of risk or danger outside of just the general speed going through. No cars, no near misses. It is so far this person has been able to get through these intersections with unscathed. And what we don't want is for somebody, an innocent bystander, to be hurt with this. But here we go again into oncoming traffic using the turn lanes over into the wrong.
A different kind of footlong.
Lucky at that point that everybody was in the far right lane. You start to see some of these trucks move off to the side to let people out of the way. And now here
I figured I was just making a jokey joke.
Crossing crosswalks, and this expedition once again.
Sometimes I play dumb.
This chase began again as a hit and run.
For the humor.
It's a female driver, female suspect. Initially was on the 90.
This might blow some of your minds, but I actually know how to say Ozempic.
Got on the 5 freeway at several times, has gone north and south.
I was playing dumb just to fuck with Curiouser.
To navigate around the heavier traffic, but now off of the freeway.
I did it to her in real life too. I'm like, Ozempic. I'm saying this is exactly what you're saying, Ozempic.
Much of the time in Southgate, East LA area, and again, look at this over the median and into oncoming traffic with CHP right behind when they approach. Now you start to see multiple.
But sometimes I really am dumb.
We're not sure if everyone is CHP.
So now it's up to you guys to discern which time I'm being dumb for comedic effect and which time I'm actually dumb.
The curbs, passing which boulevard you said? Beverly Boulevard. So passing Beverly Boulevard.
There's the Boulevard of Broken Dreams over here.
Is just joining us, getting logged in here, so she'll join us with this coverage right now. There's no one in the helicopter, so that's the reason why we are just
Chris Christie
describing what we see with you.
He was having lunch.
Eventually, we'll probably have Chris Christie back in as well. But Ellen, it just gets somewhat terrifying when you see.
I mean, most of the country reads at like a 4th grade level, Lord, so it's probably a good assumption.
You can really see the difference as it's picked up. At first it was pretty benign, and now it seems like it's really escalating.
Well, I love it.
Because you can get a better fucking sub from many other places.
Because the person wasn't yielding, they weren't pulling
Penn Station, Jersey Mike's, Quiznos, if you can find one.
So now you're in the turn lane when oncoming traffic is coming at you, and it's these streets which are well paved and capable of high speed, but you would prefer not because of these types of intersections.
Exactly, and then you see that car is such a heavy car. For it to stop on a dime is going to be impossible. You see these people that are crossing at the crosswalk, and that's when it gets a little scary. You'd almost prefer to be on the freeway.
We can go somewhere else to get a better footlong.
On the sidewalk with a bicycle, and then this person drove over the median,
You live in
which was
sexual
rock and
anarchy?
trees and shrubbery. So they're clearly not intending to stop anytime soon.
Goodness.
But so we're just, because we don't have SkyMap 7, we're a little slow sometimes on which streets we're looking at. But we can tell you that they've not really left the site.
I'm sorry, Lord. See, I could never live near you then.
They've been north and south, and they would ride it around this area. But just on Telegraph, Atlantic, I think we were on Washington.
I lived in Alabama for the longest time. The only thing I could get delivered was Domino's, and it pissed
really
me
have
off.
no idea what they're thinking.
Like the worst fucking pizza.
They are not
hands down
over at this point.
And we know there's only one person in the vehicle, Philip, or do we know?
The only thing we know is that it's a female.
Sorry, don't mean to be a pizza snob.
Apparently, and then we're trying to figure out if anybody is in the vehicle, and you would hate to see, kids or anything.
What do you? Oh,
but at this point,
Little Caesars is probably worse.
The back of the vehicle. But again, coming through another one of these intersections, driving.
I'll give you that holiday. Is that what you were thinking?
And when I say driving into traffic, for anybody who is watching.
Okay, I will take Domino's over Little Caesars.
Thankfully, there's no traffic, but into the oncoming.
I haven't had a Pizza Hut in like 10 years, so I don't know what they're like anymore.
Because we can't.
They were decent 10 years ago.
Yes.
So we don't.
So I'd give them a third play or a
going on
next up.
Cesar Chavez right now, taking a.
If it has to be like a
right-hand turn there,
national chain, I'm probably going to go Papa John's.
And definitely picking up speed. You know, once. East LA right now, but look how fast it's going compared to those other cars.
That's what has, you
look at that.
She was unable to drive this fast on the freeway due to traffic.
As I said, I haven't had Pizza Hut in 10 years, and when I had Pizza Hut then, that's when they were trying to do like gourmet pizzas.
People are going to be at risk.
And it was decent.
There. That person,
what happened?
To get out of the way, and she's wanting to get onto the right shoulder or right side, and it's just.
Yeah, the roomie ordered Domino's, and I went through there, and she offered me a piece.
Again,
I'm
this
like,
started in
well, why didn't you tell me? I would have gave you money and ordered a good pizza.
And we come around these corners, but
it's like it is
the type of road we're on. This is when she really starts to pick up speed, and it's the danger for people who aren't ready for somebody. I would guess this is probably a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit in this area, maybe 50, but she's been going 85 miles an hour down these roads, and I mean, you've got people
I think it's a woman. I don't know for sure.
People who are getting ready to, before long, get out of school.
It does seem like a mom kind of vehicle, doesn't it?
A lot of different things, and this is the worst kind of chase because somebody could just be walking along and in a crosswalk and have no idea what was.
The worst kind of chase is the one that we watched a few days ago where I saw somebody die.
Cross guard with children walking across the street right there. That's exactly what it's 2:30.
That was a woman. She was doing like 110 miles an hour and lost control.
Going in the right lane and then trying to make that turn very quickly. And then now we are back onto. Well, we've got a left turn lane. That's a left turn lane that she's.
I would love for you to whisper me things, but Domino's is not it.
Sure, exactly. This says Ramona Boulevard, and we're going to go with that and say that we think that's what it is.
Okay.
But yeah, so now we're on Ramona.
I didn't know it was fatal. We were live, Mansour.
Stay away from much in the way of traffic when she's off the freeway.
Thank goodness.
That's why all the people that were watching it
and like you said,
took it down. So the only way you can see the crash is on my channel.
And that's when it gets a little more dangerous. People out on the roads and trying to get home and just filling up their afternoon with their activities before the weekend starts.
Ooh.
Well, and one thing that you look at, and I know a lot of people would like to see a pit maneuver, but with this speed, when this person is when she gets off the freeway and has really picked up the speeds, it's too fast. They can't try the pit maneuver at that speed.
Okay.
And the size of the vehicle.
Yeah.
The size of the vehicle is going to make it a lot more difficult for the CHP, even if they are able to get right up on them.
Yeah, because that's a full-size SUV there.
Yeah, an Expedition.
It's an extended SUV.
It's going to be a V8 engine. It's going to be a very.
It might be a V10, to be honest with you.
The acceleration is not going to be that good, but it can.
Yeah, Michael. It was like right before I moved.
And again, as I mentioned,
maybe a month ago.
Talked about it. They don't slow down very quickly.
Right, exactly.
It's not like a vehicle that you can just stop and maneuver very quickly. They are somewhat top heavy, but not really. I mean, not for somebody who's used to driving it. So it's just a big.
Oh no! Never add tacos.
Vehicle, and you'd hate to see somebody get hit at a high rate of speed with that.
Now in the
Chud, they usually don't.
You figure that she's.
They take it on a case-by-case basis. So I don't know that they're actually behind them right now.
She's on the phone. We don't know her state of mind or if she's on anything, but. Yeah, look at that. Just
right.
Whoa!
See that's.
What was that?
And let's see if that caused any damage. Okay, so now she's getting out, and it looks as if she's going to try to run away.
Wait, we've watched this one before.
And that is going to put an end to this chase fairly quickly because officers were right behind her.
Boo! I've seen this one.
But she has not.
This was from like 2 months ago. She gets tackled.
She was under the influence.
Okay.
And now
she's right toward the.
I called her stupid then because she ran right towards the cops.
And they were going to, and guess what's easy for her? The fact that they didn't need the dogs.
No kidding.
So she is taken into custody, and who knows? It might have been that.
My bad. Sorry.
In the road, the drainage can now start.
I was like, damn, looked like the transmission fell out. That's not the first time we've seen that happen in a chase, but it's because I've seen that one before. Ah, shit. Let me find you a good one. Feel like I let people down when I play one we've seen before. And I think last time I played that one, somebody in the chat was like, we've watched this one before. Go to my watch later. See what I got saved. Oh man, as I'm going through my watch later shit, I'm seeing Liz Cheney campaigning with Harris here. How'd that work out? And looking at the data of that, apparently, like it turned off 3 out of 10 independent voters, but made like 5 out of 10 Democrats more excited, which blew my mind. I don't think we watched this one. I don't remember a Black Tundra.
So they're doing their thing. LAPD, interesting enough, had wanted to do a pit maneuver. The watch commander denied the pit maneuver due to the high-profile nature of the truck. They were worried that it would flip. The other thing that's pretty distinctive about this truck
is a big-ass truck.
Its own kind of grill or version, a civilian version of a push bar on the front of it as well. So that's kind of interesting too.
And Mike, this seems like it was kind of violent in the beginning.
Oh, they stopped. Come back.
And there wasn't a clear
go.
answer, or not at least one that I heard of a response on that. So that's unclear. Certainly we.
Yeah, Mike was like, you watched that one like 3 times. Yeah, I'm
that
sorry.
Person didn't get hurt. They were trying to, fight off and fend.
I don't think we've seen this one though.
All this went down.
Yeah, oftentimes we'll see when they are armed that law enforcement officials will want to go after them and get them because they do pose a possible danger to the public with a weapon, whether it is, pointed at that person or pointed at the public or not. But at this point, we don't know, but it might seem that they are armed just because of the fact that maybe, it could have been they took it by force. Who knows?
And there's a couple indicators when we deal with the LAPD. LAPD has a set guidelines of if you're chasing a car for this, you can't go into tracking because of the nature of the crime. And I don't know, again, if this person is armed or not, but LAPD has never wanted to go into tracking. They've never asked to go into tracking. They've been with it the whole time.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about when they're talking about going into tracking. It's just letting the helicopter.
Division is kind of mid-Wilshire, mid-city, Pico Robertson, that area. Once we got into the Carson
They've apparently identified this dude as having some sort of a weapon.
We're kind of far away from our division, and now CHP is taking it over. By the way,
titty chase.
Tried to set up a spike strip already on the 91 freeway before they even had control of the pursuit. They tried to set up a spike on the 91. We don't believe that was successful at all.
Interesting. We had a pursuit last week where
apparently there's supposed to be a gigantic storm on the other side of Thanksgiving.
Cleared to Orange County and Santa Ana.
Everyone be safe.
So this is one that they're definitely letting the CHP take over, and we always talk about why they might want to do that. Well, agencies have different needs and modes.
I hope to be back with you guys for Christmas, New Year's, all that fun stuff.
Is different, or it's difficult to relay.
We'll watch Christmas specials with you guys in the chat.
Going where they're headed, different things that the chopper might be able to relay down to the ground units below. But in this case, it looks like the CHP is taking over. And is the CHP above it as well, or is it still the LAPD chopper, Mike?
Des, I think it's LAPD still, right, Des?
The LAPD airship.
I believe so, yeah. I see the black and white markings that are similar to the cruisers there. It does look like LAPD that is still on this one. So CHP will most likely be having their helicopter come in, actually going kind of towards where they're based out of Fullerton Airport. So it'll be a pretty short jump for them to come and pick up on this one. So we'll see if we hear them on the call.
I don't really think money is an issue in my instance, but if you want to make sure that my break is as short as possible, get up all the tip jars, blah, 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 The fourth wall. I have a fourth wall is
We're
launched.
actually kind of headed down towards them. That they just.
If you need some Christmas swag.
So they're playing a little bit of catch-up right now. But the good news for them, and kind of one thing I've just found peculiar, especially considering what sounded like the violent nature of this call, is that we're not going very fast at all. We're not even at the speed limit. We've been down around, actually look right now, maybe 45, maybe 50 miles an hour. Not very fast at all. A lot of times when you have something like this, like a carjacking.
It is definitely one of those little dick cabin trucks.
And that is not the case so far. We've barely seen any lane switching. Dare I say, I even saw a turn signal earlier. Always kind of weird when you see that in a pursuit. And the suspect just.
Chad, I'm gonna try to start with maybe a marijuana company.
He's got one arm on the steering wheel, and I'm pretty sure he's been on the phone the entire time. So talking to someone on the phone.
I'm sorry, I was trying to do
right now. But yeah, it looks a little bit agitated.
the Sublime song, which is, by the way, one of my favorite
maybe a shaved head. We're getting a couple
historic
of
songs.
With this suspect right now as we really double in.
Love music where you can learn history.
And not giving us too much more there. So we'll widen back
He
out.
thinks he may have a shaved head, so he may be a skinhead.
Yeah, so we are.
Look at that gigantic grill.
Into Long Beach. We're pretty close parallel to Long Beach State University. Getting ready to pass by Long Beach Airport as well. So where are we headed? I mean, we've already covered quite a bit of distance off of the 10.
Songs where you can learn history.
Close to where this pursuit started, and came eastbound on the 10. And, fortunately for this suspect, anyway, traffic has been really light. Memorial Day traffic, most of the traffic kind of is coming back from the far-fledged destinations of the weekend, like Vegas or San Francisco or something like that. So around town traffic's been pretty easy today, and it certainly has been for the suspect as we make our way towards Orange County.
Yeah, certainly not high rates of speed here. And I did see him use a turn signal. Mike Rogers, back to you at the
Yes, he did. He did use his left and right turn indicator.
We did on whether or not these guys were armed. So they just clarified with the LAPD. The LAPD says they are not armed. The weapon used was, they call it weapon used, but was force, bodily force, to overtake the victim and get the truck. So a bit of good news.
It's a stolen
Not
truck.
appear to be armed at this point. CHP just clarifying that with the LAPD. CHP also getting word that we had is that the LAPD knows who this person is. So LAPD is trying to verify. A lot of the times what we see with CHP, and I got to be honest, not necessarily, at least on the radio side with some of the other agencies, but CHP really likes to know who they're chasing so they can try to run an address. Where does this person live? Can we get a unit over there? CHP is very proactive in sending people to the suspect's house in case they double back there during the incident. Yeah, absolutely. During the chase, to either try to get a family member who knows this person or be there.
Get him on the horn.
The suspect wants to go home.
Yeah, and speaking of someone this person might actually know, the driver, Mike was just talking about how in this entire situation there was some sort of altercation between the victim and the suspect or suspects who are inside this car right now, who allegedly carjacked them. And the witness is the one who called in to police and said, I know this person. So I wonder, we were just wondering just a minute ago who this person in the driver's seat might have been talking to, perhaps on the cell phone. Perhaps it was someone who knows that person. We actually, like Mike was saying, this is a named individual, so the CHP knows who this person is, the person who was driving this car, and who was involved in this alleged carjacking. So who knows? They might be headed somewhere where they actually know. They might actually be headed to a familiar place, but oftentimes, we see them going back to a familiar place so that they can, go on surface streets and know their way around the neighborhood. But it looks like they're going south right now.
Right, and it's super interesting because, in theory, right, the witness knew who the victim was. So you would think that the witness maybe lives in that area or something like that. So now we are so far away from where this all transpired. Does the suspect have any idea where they're going? I mean, they just grabbed a freeway and kind of got on the 10 east and then 110 south, and they've just followed it all the way down to the
living on the 110.
Now, as we enter into Orange County, the Orange County CHP units are getting into place to take over. So you wonder, are they going home? Were they already closer to home where this started since that witness knew them? Kind of what's the deal?
Yeah.
And Mike, you said at one point that witness was actually on the phone with 911 while witnessing this carjacking.
Yeah, that's how when I went back and listened to the radio traffic, LAPD had gotten the call of an attempted carjacking. This woman said, or I shouldn't say woman, this person said, this two people are fighting and it looks like they're trying to take over the car, and then called back, and officers who were on their way got more information that said the RP reporting party called back. and
They
said
might
the
have
suspect
known
got
each other.
in the car and have left. And then they gave them a direction of travel, and the units were close enough that they were able to spot the car as it was leaving, got into what's called a following, which is the precursor for a pursuit, tried to pull the truck over, it didn't stop, and here we are.
Let's go back upstairs to Desmond Shaw live in SkyCal now. Desmond, we've made quite the way from where we were initially. Where are we now? In Orange County already?
We are now in Orange County. We're just crossing over the border now as we came south of the 605. We are coming past the 22 freeway, or we will be shortly, I should say. So we are definitely into Orange County now at this point. And again, you just the speeds here really, nothing super crazy. This guy's almost just kind of driving along as if he's ignoring the law enforcement that is right behind him right now. Actually, looking out the window and looking at what looks like a CHP motorcycle unit that maybe they might be the ones that are
Got
going
the
to be
chips
running
on them.
kind of the round-robin sort of traffic break to keep traffic away from the suspect right now. We'll see.
Shut the fuck up, Friday.
Get that out the window right now.
I love those dudes.
Where
the Pot Brothers at law.
kind of getting the impression, since the suspect is not making any serious attempt to get away from the authorities, we're just kind of buying time. I mean, they've been on the phone the entire time, and it makes me think that there may be some two-way communication happening between the suspect,
Welcome in.
enforcement, or them and someone else affiliated with this whole situation. We've seen that.
I don't know. This guy might be Mexican or black. I don't know if he is my race. But I think they called him a skinhead, so it's possible.
Story about something, who knows? But just based on experience, that's kind of the impression that we're getting. So, does this person live in Orange County? I mean, that's where we're headed for sure. I mean, we're actually already in Orange County. So actually, it looks like we're going to be, southbound 405, which is good news for us, because if we would have gone 22, we could have run into some issues with Disneyland's airspace. But well, we might have some other issues with John Wayne. We'll see. Sometimes they can be kind of finicky to deal with as we branch away from the 22, continue southbound 405.
We couldn't keep following it because Disney doesn't let us go over their airspace.
You can see those wide open freeways, especially when you get down to Orange County on the 405. I mean, you can see those units behind this person, but really bare freeways as it is. The 405 freeway is rarely this way.
And it's interesting. I think Des mentioned.
I'm not sure what you're asking, Kikyo.
Traffic break back there to keep the cars, away here, because he's not going fast enough to keep up with the flow of traffic. So
there's no
they're probably running, as Des gives us a wide shot there. I bet you there's a unit right in the back that's running a traffic break pretty far behind, actually. There's that motorcycle Des was talking about running the traffic break. But regardless, even when before this, the traffic break was initiated when LAPD was chasing the guy, still freeway speeds. I mean, the airship kept saying, maintaining the flow of traffic, which, to Desmond's point,
he's not even going the speed limit. He's going like 50, 60.
There are people that just kind of drive. By time, as you mentioned.
And we haven't seen him go at high rates of speed, the suspect, the driver, and also using a turn signal.
Oh, a 10-lane highway. Yeah, this is L.A.
I think you also pointed that out at one point during this pursuit.
It may be more than 10 lanes.
As the suspect or as his driver was changing lanes, using those turn signals.
Yeah, it's always kind of a silly thing. Oh, we had a unit that was right there. Actually, I'm not sure if they tried a spike strip attempt there. Maybe
didn't. Did it look like?
See anything? Haven't heard anything about a spike strip attempt, but we'll see if anything like that happened. But yeah, it's always a funny thing. It's like, are they trying to buy brownie points or something by using their turn signal and thinking, I don't know, that's going to get them off more lenient, once they're in handcuffs? It's always kind of a funny thing.
Des, really quick, I'm sorry, we just heard on
thing that you need to be doing.
Sorry, Des, I just wanted to tell you, we heard on the radio that was a spike strip attempt, and there was a successful spike.
Oh.
Mike, that was the second one.
All right, there you go.
That you talked about.
We didn't see shit.
Tried one at the 91 that didn't. I don't think they got it set up in time, but it sounds like this one they did. And we were just hearing Angelina on our desk was just telling me. It sounds like they got a good spike.
And it looks like they're in a pretty good position too, as you can see. They're on the right side.
Slowing down, but not considerably.
We often talk about when the CHP has to pull those out. They're like accordions, and when they pull them out, the spike strips, they throw them out into the roadway, and then they have to pull it back after the car goes over them. So they have to be positioned in an area where they do believe that car is going to run over them. So as soon as they see some sort of pattern, which in this case,
using his turn signal,
as they're not going very fast at freeway speeds, obviously, and they were on the right side, way right side, so they were able to use those two opportunities and do a successful spike strip, but we'll see if those effects happen anytime soon. But as we say, you know, it's like a straw being inserted or poked into that tire. The air is going to come out very slowly, not fast.
But Susie, you're talking about the opportune time and the opportune place right there on the right. Mike, we didn't even see it until after he did the.
I don't think they did.
Fast. Yeah. We didn't even see it until after.
Yeah, and that's the goal. You know, they want to try to be out of the way, not only for
Cakes, welcome in.
to surprise the suspect so that they don't see them doing it.
Yeah, definitely. These speeds are what is giving them that opportunity to do so. And oftentimes, as Desmond knows very well, we see them, these officers, do this really fast and get out of the way. And oftentimes we can see them because they have to do it so quickly, obviously. But you know, that was really.
This is a chase that we're watching for like a month ago.
Anything.
And not only that, the truck was in the right location and on the right side. Desmond,
it does kind of look like the tires are going down.
As we just watched this suspect just drive it out here on the freeway.
Especially that right, or the right front.
Well, looks like it's the front passenger side that is they got hit. Maybe
the
both
rear
of
looks
the
like it
passenger
too.
side, both front and rear. Yeah, yeah, they both look like they're pretty low. So it looks like they are slowly deflating. And this was really a perfect just situation.
Tire will come apart and start taking out the fender.
Spikes, because you know they're not driving super crazy, but you know pretty much at a very consistent speed.
I am a car chase expert now.
We have a little bit of an obstacle there. Pilot Jeff, thank you. So
give me Chris Christie's job in the helicopter.
They've been kind of in the right lane the whole time, and now we're getting off the freeway as the tires are really starting to struggle here. So we'll see where we end up as we get off at Beach Boulevard, one of the busiest boulevards here in Orange County. There's definitely some traffic out there. We're off the off-ramp, and maybe the writing is on the wall for this suspect now. I mean, they've got to be feeling that their tires are flat. We'll see how far
what are they going to do?
As we know, just because the tires
just because they're flat doesn't mean they're going to stop.
And you know, especially with these trucks.
Oh, don't just pull over.
We are slowing down.
Oh, come the fuck on.
Almost off completely, and almost off of the road. So.
And Desmond, those ground units right behind them,
Let's
right?
See, yeah, right behind him here as we will drop the speedometer there, and.
Are we in a standoff now?
His hands are out. Making it look like he's going to surrender. So maybe that was all it took, was some perfectly placed spike strips, and hopefully we will be at the end of this.
Well, that wasn't fun.
Beach Boulevard and the 405.
And Mike, we were talking about this earlier. We don't know exactly how many suspects are in this truck.
No, we've kept hearing multiple. We heard at 1.3, so we'll have to see how many end up getting out. You know, it is a little bit. I think that back window might be a little bit dark, and you know, it's unclear how many, you know, what the witness saw, how many people they said. But, you know, LAPD was concerned enough that there were multiple people in here that during their pursuit, they asked for additional units for post-pursuit tactics is what they call it, just to have enough officers to deal with all the people that could potentially be inside.
And then I wonder at that point if they knew that they were not armed.
Yeah, I mean, again, we didn't get a clear answer on that from LAPD when they were chasing it.
If you're gonna run,
because they were able to relay that information.
Make it fun for those of us watching.
So, yeah, I mean, that was the good news because it gives them a little bit more opportunities. You know, as soon as we start seeing suspects that are armed, all of a sudden we see them not wanting to do pit maneuvers, not wanting to do spike strips because you don't want to put officers in that situation. But the good news is the driver door looks like it's open now, right, Des?
Yep, door is opening. There's definitely been some chatter here from this suspect towards the officers while they, you know, no doubt call out and just tell them to come out and comply. But looks
no
like
fucking way.
A mouthful there for the officers. Still continuing to talk. Might be shirtless. I don't know. Or I thought maybe they were wearing a tank top. We're going to find out here momentarily. But both hands out the window. That is the good news as we maneuver around a little bit here. We'll see if there is anyone else in this vehicle because it's not looking like it from what I'm seeing. Can't see into the rear seats too well yet, but the suspect, well, they got their hands out, but they're definitely not following.
The YouTube channel had said that Matt Gaetz was named special prosecutor, and I was like, no way.
The CHP
but I'm not seeing confirmation of it, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Trained at this person right now as they are giving those orders for the person to put their hands up. and slowly walked backwards towards them after they tossed their keys out of the window. It looks like they are cooperating so far, although I don't know where they are in their instructions. But as Desmond was talking about, we're wondering if anyone else is inside this car, inside the cab of this truck possibly. We had heard that maybe up to 3 people are in this car, but that information was kind of go back and forth, so we have not been able to confirm that. What we do know
looks like only one.
With some sort of altercation.
Not seeing a passenger, but there could be somebody in the back.
2 people, or at least the person who was doing the carjacking, alleged carjacking, and the person who was the victim of the carjacking, got into some sort of altercation. The car was taken by force. Not by someone being armed. That's what we know so far. This person is not armed as far as we know. And it looks like they are still putting their hands out according to those orders. We'll see what happens, though, as they make their way to the officers here in just a minute.
And, you know, oh, sorry, Chauncey. The longer the guy doesn't get out of the car, the longer or the more it makes you wonder, is this going to be a situation where they refuse to get out of the car? Because certainly by now, there are enough CHP officers, they are in place, they have told him to get out of the car. So we're at a point now where if he's not gotten out of the car, it's most likely because he is choosing not to.
And it's very interesting.
But
I've
it
only
seems
seen
like he's
person
surrendering
in the truck or make any maneuvers or gestures inside of this truck. But another interesting point that we talked about earlier is this person, this witness who watched this alleged carjacking go down. And
seriously, Chug, because if he kept riding on the rim, it would have took the fender completely off.
Name this alleged carjacking suspect who we're just waiting on now as police are getting.
They can go about
orders
5 or 10 miles.
Wait on that. I did
before just the tire comes completely apart.
Where you see the car come under the freeway, and then the CHP officers got that set of spike strips right there. I think we're going to look at that video here in just a second, but right under the bridge of the freeway, and it did see like the front.
And the truck is likely okay. It didn't look like he hit anything at any time that we were watching it.
That spike strip, which is ultimately what thankfully was able to bring.
And even if it did, it probably hurt whatever it hit more than it hurt yet.
On the rims, and I think we're working on that video still, but we'll get it when we have it. But it was just right there under the bridge.
But I feel like from the way it was described to us, like
about the opportune moment
dude
for
was
CHP
somehow like
officers to do so, because
this guy that stole the truck apparently knew the owner somehow.
Speeds, but
so it was some sort of dispute.
Was not driving that very fast.
Right.
I mean, really.
And because you know, when they're going slower, it actually gives them a better opportunity to avoid it. Here's the video on the right side of your screen, and you'll see the spike right there.
Oh.
That's where he was able to kind of roll right over it. And
he did have the spike out.
They very, very quickly were able to pull it away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you know, and again, 9 times out of 10,
if not totaling it, Chud,
slow, they see it and swerve. But it goes back to what Desmond was talking about. Is this person?
He can do some major fucking damage.
Kind of motivation, especially now that they're not even getting out of the car.
Sure, and maybe it was too late at that point. You know, even if they were driving very slowly, the CHP officer was hidden pretty well, as you see on the right side of your screen, just underneath that overpass. And so, you know, by the time they got there, maybe they didn't have that opportunity to swerve or get out of the way, or maybe they didn't think to do so. But it looks like those spike strip, as Mike was talking about, did bring this to an end, at least the pursuit portion of it. And now comes the part where we're waiting for the suspect to get out of the car. They have probably heard these orders multiple times by now, but it looks like they do have their hands up, but that's it at this point.
Desmond, and it looks like that this suspect has also
shirtless?
Made some maneuvers more to get out of this truck, and this hand wave that he keeps doing, and it looks like he's also talking back to those officers behind him.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what the holdup here is. There's really no.
Yeah, because usually they'd have him face down already.
Barrier or something like that, but they're kind of moving like at the speed of a tree sloth right now. I mean, it's very simple to just get out and walk backwards, put your shirt up so we can see that there's nothing in your waistband, and get in the handcuffs. I mean, the longer we draw this out, the longer that the suspect is risking getting pelted by pepper balls or something like that, and they're almost certainly going to be in handcuffs one way or another. So it's really just kind of drawing this out.
So they will be.
We've had the hands up the entire time, looking back, talking at the
officers. Yeah, from the moment it stopped, he put the hands out.
What they're waiting for, but if he thinks that he can say something, some kind of magic word that's going to make them all disappear or something, I don't know, but it's definitely kind of a
abracadabra.
See you guys.
All right, Desmond, thank you. We're going to keep a close eye on this. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Des. We're going to
All right, let's go back now to our breaking news, the end of a pursuit in Orange County.
Desmond Shaw is live right now at Sky Cal, and Mike
They got him in cuffs now.
He's been following this for us as well. What's the very latest? It seemed like this alleged carjacking suspect has been taken into custody, Des.
Yes, Chauncey and Susie, it is officially over here.
Chauncey.
We have code 4 all clear. Here is the suspect on the back of the vehicle. You know, CHP...
Don't trust anybody named Chauncey.
If they have any kind of relative certainty that this suspect is not armed and dangerous, they will eventually just approach the vehicle and yank them out, and that is exactly what they did. A small cadre of them walked up with a ballistic shield and their weapons, and they just came up and yanked him out. It almost kind of looked like that's what he was waiting for. He was waiting for them to come and get him physically out of the car, and so they did just that. There was no further resistance. Well, maybe a little bit here as he's up against the vehicle, kind of writhing a little bit. I'm sure plenty of words being exchanged, but that was indeed the only
Plenty of words being exchanged.
They are now
Let's listen in.
jail, and hopefully we will see lanes of the southbound 405 Beach Boulevard off-ramp reopen soon. Chauncey and Susie.
All right,
Chauncey.
Des, thank you.
We watched the RV pursuit the other day. All right, I can't help myself. I'm gonna have to watch this. If I didn't watch it with you guys, I'd watch it off stream. So this is body cam footage of a special ed teacher being arrested.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you. I don't have a phone. It got destroyed, actually. I lost it today and got run over.
Convenient story.
Okay.
It's just before midnight in Ocean County, New Jersey, where, get this, police are about to confront a special education teacher accused of having an inappropriate relationship with one of her students.
Good evening. Yes. Detective Hernandez, Rio Borough Police Department. Is Allison home? May I speak with her, please? Now we'll talk to her out here. Thank you. Hello. Hey, Michelle. How you doing?
Hi.
Detective Hernandez, Rio Borough Police Department. Detective Correa, Detective Hobbs. You know why we're here? No? Any idea? You want to move away from the house to
I
speak
don't feel
to?
comfortable talking without my attorney present.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Or move.
We have a warrant for your arrest, so we're gonna take you in. Is there anything on you that you want to leave with your family?
No, my glasses come with me. Do I have medication that I need to bring with me?
If you take medication, I will highly suggest for you to have someone get it for you. Okay, just give me a second.
I believe she knows.
Police identify the woman seen here as 43-year-old Allison Havman Niedrach, a teacher at an intermediate school in nearby Freehold Township. Listen closely to her answer as detectives ask if she wants to bring her phone.
I don't have a phone. It got destroyed, actually. I lost it today and got run over.
Okay. Just have them bring the medicine.
Okay.
Here, I gotta put you under cuffs, so.
Okay.
All right?
Oh no, come on, Mansoor.
Joints are very fragile.
I'm not gonna hurt you in any shape or form. This is gonna go on gently. Right?
The cam being at breast level, though.
Thank you.
A titty slap!
Come on now.
Okay? Okay. Give me a second.
My husband's here with my kids.
Okay. Thank you. And I see your parents there.
Yeah, my parents are here. They're fine. My kids are safe.
All right. Do me a favor. Go like this.
I do have a lot of medical issues. I'm sorry.
Okay. No problem.
It's 23:30. Are they arresting her like
Medication?
11:30 at night?
We'll have them get it. Yeah.
My husband can get it.
Yeah. Can you let her know?
Can you get my antibiotics and my...
According to the Monmouth County prosecutor, the alleged sexual relationship began earlier this year. Prosecutors didn't reveal the age of the alleged victim, but the school where Allison was employed has students in grades 6th through 8th. Other reports indicate Allison had sent thousands of text messages to the alleged victim with her now, quote, destroyed phone.
Sorry, my mom had strokes recently.
Okay, no problem.
I'm my parents' caretaker.
Okay.
Where is she going now?
She's gonna come back to the Freehold Borough Police. She's going to her police station in Freehold. Yes. You know their numbers?
Our parents?
You at least spending a night.
Okay.
And they have my attorney's number now.
Okay.
Should I keep that with me as well, or?
If you don't know
I
by
don't know
heart,
it. I don't know my attorney's phone number.
yeah, I will highly recommend for you to get it, because that way you
I
have
have a
that piece of paper.
We'll get it.
Yeah.
Where's it at? Where's the paper?
It's, if you want my husband to get it, he knows where it is.
Yeah. Just tell him what to get. Go ahead, sir. No, you can come out, sir.
Can we combine one of them?
Allison and her husband work to get her medication squared away before the 43-year-old is hauled off to
They
jail.
all seem really calm.
I lied.
Like they knew it was coming.
Okay.
Sorry. And then,
Okay.
I need the red paper that's taped to the cabinet that has my attorney's name and Pastor name, please.
Pastor.
Do you have, I take every day for my heart. Do you want
We
that
can
as
throw
well?
that in one of them, right?
No, I don't,
That's-
I don't want to combine beds.
So,
So separate container? Can you get the baby aspirin as well? She just wants to.
we're gonna talk to the attorneys and stuff like that, and the Monmouth County prosecutors, and see what happens. We don't make the decision. Yeah.
She'll be booked in, and then she'll be arraigned, and they'll set bail. Be able to go and bond her out tomorrow.
Excuse me, ma'am? We don't know. It's because of bail reform, we don't make that decision
Definitely
anymore.
overnight.
Excuse me?
Definitely overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's staying overnight.
Look at the cabinet where you just got the meds. There's 2 white pieces of paper with red crayon writing. Look straight ahead. Taped.
Al?
Nope.
Get me oxygen, please.
Not that. I know.
You okay?
No.
Are you
no,
okay?
She's on full-time
Well,
oxygen.
I was in bed. I'm on oxygen all night long.
Okay. Okay. Are you little? Do you need medical attention?
No.
You sure? Okay. Is this it?
Yes, that's right. That's my pastor. And my
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to take?
I mean, pastors know about this kind of a
And
situation.
you know the numbers if you
My
need to
parents
call them?
and my husband, yes.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So we're going to get going, okay? Like I said, we're going to process her. We don't make the decision because of bail reform. We only text the Hernandez batch 101, and you guys can,
She's going to Freehold. Wait a minute. What?
I didn't need to write down his number. I know his number.
Thank you. So
All right,
she's.
she'll call you later, okay?
Yeah.
Does the family know?
One officer stays behind to talk to Allison's parents, while another escorts the suspect to a patrol car. Hey, I want to thank Upside for sponsoring this
Fuck
body
Upside.
cam. Upside is a free buying on Upside. You come and get an extra.
I don't believe in hell.
Oh, you know we don't have baby aspirin.
Oh, we need. Okay, sorry.
I got. Yeah, I'll
These
see
are
what
being
they're
really accommodating cops.
Thank you for not scaring my children.
They home?
They're in the, well, they're in the basement. They're trying to go to sleep.
Okay.
I just put them to bed there. We just got back from dinner.
I'm just glad you weren't in bed sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This couldn't have been at like 11:30.
Yeah.
Just
two.
He just got back from dinner.
Did you catch that? Allison reveals she has 2 children herself and thanked the officer for not, quote, scaring them. Let's take another listen.
Thank you for not scaring my children.
They home?
They're in the, well, they're in the basement. They're trying to go to sleep.
Okay.
I just put them to bed there. We just got back from dinner.
I'm just glad you weren't in bed sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the Law and Crime channel. I should probably try to get a job with these motherfuckers.
With Allison's 2 children and
Much of this shit as I watch.
the 43-year-old is searched before she's taken to a patrol car.
Okay.
Do you have anything sharp on you or anything like that? Because I'm going to pass you down
No,
before.
it's my glasses in my pocket.
Okay, do you mind if I just go into your
No,
pocket?
you're fine.
Thousands of texts. That's insane.
Yep.
I'd say like one text is too much to a 7th grader and 8th grader.
Okay.
That you're trying to fuck around with.
Yeah.
But 1,000 texts, and then she says her phone got destroyed. Did she destroy it?
This one?
Because then they're going to accuse you of tampering with evidence.
Hands underneath like this.
No, it doesn't matter. As long as you're comfortable. If you want to put them on top of this one.
I'm pretty sure they don't think you're a threat, man.
Where is the... I can't see anything. Does it connect to one of these?
Is there anything in the middle?
Dumb cop doesn't know how to operate a seatbelt.
Can I have that for a second?
Sure.
I'm sorry, man. Can you just scoot up? I can't see anything. Yeah.
Can you go all the way across?
Yeah, whatever you
No,
need.
not you.
Oh.
No? No? That's not going to work.
Want me to move the other side?
Sure.
Because then we're going to need something in the middle.
Does it go into that at all? Here, give me that. Give me that blue one.
You guys got it?
Yeah, we're going to figure it out. Here, watch your glasses there. Give me that blue one. There's a spot right here. Just watch your water. Good. You okay? Is that all right?
Yeah.
I haven't really been on there as, you know, a user. I'm just kind of, you know, posting my stuff on there.
Do you want to just maybe hold it down like that? Good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I'm not. I need to get on there more. I don't even have it on my phone.
Tight-lipped.
I do have Threads on my phone. It's all right.
You good? All right. Just step out.
Bluesky had actually banned me at one point in time, but they apparently unbanned me. I don't even know why, because all I did was post links to the Troll Patrol.
Thank you. And that way. Straight forward. And to that right, and that door. Let me get the warrant. Huh?
Well, they apparently have the kid's phone.
They have.
At least the records.
They just we're gonna stay on. Okay.
Allison is facing charges of first-degree aggravated sexual assault and second-degree endangering the welfare of a child. The 43-year-old has since reportedly been released from jail and is under house arrest with strict no-contact orders with minors outside of her home. At last check, Allison remains awaiting trial for the charges.
Because that arrest happened in June. They just posted this a few minutes ago, or a few hours ago. I probably should look into it. Law and Crime is probably the only media outlet that is expanding at this point in time. Maybe I could get a job. I think I have a friend that's a producer there. She was a producer at a TV station I worked for. I think she's a producer at Law and Crime now. I had an animal video. I don't know what happened to it. I've lost it. I'm sorry. Once again, I'm going to go on a little bit of a sabbatical. Going to take a couple weeks off. We'll hopefully be back with you guys by Christmas. We'll do the whole inauguration thing and everything. That'll be fun. Well, since it's going to be a little bit, let's go ahead and check in with the puppy bus. That sounds like the thing to do right now. I am going to try to be on in the next day or so, and I don't even know what sonogram is holiday. You sent me that link. Is it a thing? I'm going to try to do Thanksgiving specials with you guys in the next couple of days.
Would you guys like a complimentary treat from your friend Nala with your bus ride?
Troll Patrol going on hiatus for just a little bit.
Up front here, we have little Louie.
I'm sorry, M. Lord.
Carl, stop that. It's for Louie.
It's not so much.
It's new. It's different. Louie's gonna have to check it out first.
I have to
Carl.
get back home first.
Carl.
And then basically make it till after the 5th.
Little Max.
When I get big paycheck for all the work I've done this month.
Murray.
And then I can try to find a place.
Also has to sniff down a new treat. No.
I'm pretty elitist holiday. No, I'll check it out.
Yeah. Maybe not. Bama.
Bambo's into it.
Luna.
Oh, Luna's so cute. Look at those eyes. Look how sweet she is.
There is Zach. Here is Daishu.
You'll cure me? Oh no, I think the cure for my disease is Joni Ernst.
Here is Soul. Nope. Chum. Dasher.
Who wants this bus to crash? I don't want this bus to crash. I love this bus. I love these puppies. Thought what was Media Winch?
Bailey. And Telly.
Speaking of Media Winch, why not play you guys the song one more time? Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's alright to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
All we're establishing is this guy's wicked sick aesthetic.
Not high enough for this shit. I guess I gotta thank Matt Wall for introducing me to JustinFREAKIN.
Hey there, y'all. We're about to get stupid, locked into what that news be doing. Fu Manchu and a slick bandana, colder than ice, smoother than Santana. Audio, video, chat and calls. Right wing nut jobs haunt the halls. What you wanna watch? Hey, what you think? And there's only one choice. It's JustinFREAKIN.
The guy's, he's a formidable voice in the culture.
Light one up and tip one back. It's a right to be high. Let's grab a snack. It's fucking news, quick panic attack, and play your cards right and get a titty slap. Jumping discords, have some fun. The man will talk to everyone. Get high and try to debate. When shit pops off, chat thinks it's great. What do you think you're doing? Join the troll patrol. Wherever discourse is brewing, he gives it that southern drawl.
So let's go ahead and bring in Justin. Hey Justin, how's it going, brother?
First of all, I want to say you're poser South. I'm in Alabama. I'm the real South.
Okay, all right. So why don't you tell us what it takes to be a man?
Well, I don't know. I'm in Alabama and I'll fuck a man in a dress. Why won't you fuck a man in a dress? Are you that insecure that you won't fuck a man in a dress?
That's fantastic. So you're okay with that, right?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Right-wingers are morons.
Light one it and tip one back. One more click before we hit the set an alert when that shit goes live. Social fucking support and hit subscribe. Light one up and take a hit. He does no harm, but it takes no shit. He's the last one standing when the ship is sinking. Let's take another rip for JustinFREAKIN.
Light one up, tip one back. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
Not high enough for this shit.
Oh, I will also take this opportunity to tell you guys that the new Fourth Wall has launched. That's cool that it has a live button on the Twitch. This is a neat site. I'm really into it. You can check out the all-new Freak Store. Even made a special video banner for it. Get you some Christmas merch. Right-wingers are morons. Chris Dorner Appreciation Society. Content warning. Shoot up drugs, not schools. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. The all new, some of the new products we've got, the titty slap shirt. The doesn't smell like Gwyneth Paltrow's pussy candle. Let's get down to shabusiness. That's a new one. Now that we've launched on Fourth Wall, let's get down to shabusiness. I can fix her. So check out the Fourth Wall site. Back to Puppy Bus.
Or riding with Mo Mountain Mutts. Would you guys like a complimentary treat?
Of course they do.
Nala, with your bus ride? Up front here, we have Little Louie.
Little Louie?
Stop that. It's for Louie. It's new. It's different. Louie's gonna have to check it out first. Carl, who'll eat anything. Carl.
Carl's like, Louie doesn't want it.
Little Max.
You're so well behaved. That's not a bad idea, clinically.
Also has to sniff down a new treat. No? Maybe? It's different. Yeah? Maybe not? Bama?
Coming your way soon.
Luna?
Humble clinically over here.
There is Zach. Here is Daisy.
So yeah, my issues should be fine in terms of money, but if you want to make sure that my hiatus is as short as possible, all the links are in the description, tip jar, all that sort of thing. But I don't encourage you to do it.
Dasher?
Because I have the ability to work and earn money all day long.
Callie? Bailey?
Just in a weird spot.
And Telly.
I just want the tip. Yep, just the tip. That's what I labeled everything, was just the tip for the Venmo and the Cash App and all that good shit.
Murray, you want some Stewart's dried salmon bite?
I will say I had a client fucking hire me.
Yeah.
To do some
there you go.
shit for a courtroom presentation.
Under the bucket.
And it was his very first time using the site, so I don't think he did it on purpose, but his payment got denied.
Yeah.
And because of the way he hired me, I wasn't eligible for protection through the site. So like I'm trying to get a hold of him, like, hey dude, I want my $100.
With Mo
Please give me my $100.
Would you guys?
It wasn't that big of a job or anything.
Nala, with your bus ride?
But I still want my $100. Come the fuck on.
We have Little Louie.
Little Louie.
Carl, stop that. It's for
Especially
Louie.
right now, I want my $100.
It's new. It's different. Louie's gonna have to check it out first.
I'm gonna try to be on, have Thanksgiving specials on for you guys.
Carl.
Probably tomorrow night.
Even two.
Maybe. We'll see.
Little Max.
Could be back before Christmas. I do expect that you will get to see the Christmas graphics and the Christmas opening and everything
Also
for the
has to
show.
sniff down a new treat? No.
I've also enjoyed doing New Year's Eve with you guys.
Maybe not. Bama?
So we'll get everything straightened out.
Luna?
I will say that rent prices have come down drastically in the area that I'm in.
There is
So I'm very much looking forward to that. This is going to work out good for me. I'm probably going to end up in a much bigger place for much less money. Because, I mean, prices have dropped drastically from when I got that last apartment, which was severely overpriced.
Nope. Chum?
That's all good. It'd be a very Merry Christmas for the Freak Daddy.
Callie? Bailey?
Well, Fuzzy Simba, we don't have a place to move to yet.
And Telly.
We'll find one. I'm gonna miss you guys. I hate not being able to do the show. It's an outlet for me, but also I can kind of use a little break. I can really kind of use a little break.
Murray, you want
After,
Stewart's tribe stuff?
God, we've been going hardcore.
Kinda getting dusty.
Since like Avalon, I asked Dave.
There you go. We're at the end of the bucket.
And Dave didn't seem receptive to the idea.
Salmon.
But I think Dave already had. I think Dave had already made his plans.
Thought so.
So maybe if I had got up with Dave a week or two earlier.
No mountain mutts. Would you guys like a complimentary treat from your friend Nala?
I'm sorry, M Lord.
What's wrong?
I'm still gonna be in the Discord. I will check in with you guys.
Up front here, we have little Louie.
The reason I don't ever do when I have to take my hiatuses and when I stay with my buddy Puzzle Bitch that you guys know of,
It's different.
I don't really have a place to set up everything. So I'm like doing work on a small version of my setup. Like I don't have the desk and all that good shit. But it shouldn't be more than like I'm hoping for like a week and a half.
To sniff down a new treat? No?
Because being without my kitties sucks.
Yeah. Maybe not. Bama?
Once again, I will try to come on and do Thanksgiving specials with you guys here in the next day or two. If you're watching on Twitch, is producer Dave on? Is he back?
There is Zach. Here is Daishu.
Daishu. So fucking cute. Producer Dave not back on?
Nope. Chum? Dasher? Callie?
And if you are watching on Twitch, we live in a society, and that society is a Jason society. So go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's alright to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I am JustinFREAKIN. I will try to see you guys in the next couple of days. Peace out.
Murray, you want some Stewart's